Hello, one and all, on a great and somewhat beautiful Friday afternoon, Eastern Standard Time, that is. I don't know what time it is from where you are. I hope it's great and wonderful wherever you are and not blah. I look outside and I think blah. But all that aside, it is a great and wonderful day for the most part. So, nobody's here yet. Part of the course. We are 93 viewers. So, not 93 viewers, 93 subs and 7 more subs. When we reach 7 more subs, we will be doing a contest for a commission by me, sent to you free of charge. No shipping, whatever. So, remember that when we hit 100 subs, we are doing a commission giveaway. And then at that point, our next one will be 250, then 500, and then 1,000 when we do something special each time. Maybe not a giveaway, maybe a giveaway. Who knows? Depends on where I am at those times. What I've got, what I don't got. Well, 1,000, you get to see my comic book collection. Yeah, that'll be a special live stream, of course. Same with the commission drawing. Okay, so we will share our screen and we'll get the show on the road. Hello to whomever has come in. Hey, Bob. I am just about to do the reading. We are in Revelation chapter 9. Okay. This is about Revelation is, if you do not know, about um, the God pouring out wrath on earth, and well, it's a whole lot, but trying to get people's attention, I guess, in a short way. It's when the Antichrist comes to try and take over. Satan ends up indwelling a man, Lucifer, and trying to war, do a direct war on God. Well, there's several themes, there's several interpretations about how the events play out, what some of the symbolism in it means. Just like there's this creature that's about to get described a little bit down further when I get to it. There's some that have said it's have thought in the past it's a helicopter. I do not agree with that. There's people think it's demon locust, and that might become more apparent. Again, I disagree with that. I think this is some sort of biological creature myself. How it's come to be, that's a different question altogether. Anyways, I will get on with the reading. Okay, the fifth angel sounded his trumpet, and I saw a star that had fallen from the sky to the earth. The star was given the key to the shaft of the abyss, and when there was no key, sorry, but it's going to be a slightly more difficult to read. But I'm reading this in King James. Okay, it says key. I never read that before. Okay, that's weird. Okay, the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth, and it was given the key to the bottomless pit, and he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose smoke out of the bottomless pit as the smoke of a great furnace. The sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and unto them was given the power as scorpions to have the scorpions of the earth have power. And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only men that have not the seal of God in their foreheads. And to them it was given that they should not kill them, but they should be tormented 5 months. And their torment was as the torment of a scorpion when he striketh a man. And in those days men shall seek death, and they shall not find it. And they shall desire to die, and death will flee from them. And the shapes of the locusts were like unto horses prepared unto battle, and on their heads were it on their heads were as it were crowns like gold, and their faces the were as the faces of men, and they had hair as the hair of a woman, and their teeth were the teeth of lions, and they had breastplates as if were breastplates of iron, and the sounds of their wings was as the sound of chariots of horses running to battle. And they had tails unto scorpions, and their and their and there were stings in their tails, and their power was to hurt men 5 months, and they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue it has the name Apollyon. One woe is past, and behold, there comes two more woes hereafter. So there's the creature from the bottomless pit. Face like a man, hair like a woman, teeth like an iron breastplate, makes sounds like chariot. The sound of chariots of many horses running into battle. Tail of a scorpion, and it can sting. And you will be in torment for 5 months. So much torment that you want to die. You will probably do stuff to die, but this normal stuff that you would try to do to die won't happen, according to this. So I just sort of find that passage a bit fascinating. So I figured that'd be my last passage for my 66 days. Are there drawings of it? Um, Probably. I'm sure people have done their interpretation. Like I said, some people have thought it's a helicopter. Like I said, I disagree with that. Um, People have said demon locust, as the locust part is mentioned a fair bit there. Try Google it. Okay. And in honor, I tried to do a robot version of it, which I've done a better version than this, but I can't find it. So I'm going to just remaster that one plus a couple other characters. Okay, let's see. I don't usually use Google. I use Yahoo usually. So, oh Yahoo it. Uh, As you can see, some people have done something for it. So, yeah, well, yeah, I'm just saying that's been some people's interpretation. They wouldn't show a helicopter for that, probably. These are, like you said, drawings or whatever, sculpted stuff. Probably the helicopter stuff you'd see if you did some sort of search for Bible studies on it. You might see that read in stuff like that. Might read that in somebody's. And the helicopter thing might be a bit older now, but I'm just saying it was there at some point. I'm not sure how many people think about believe that now, but I'm just saying it was an interpretation. This is I'm probably gonna end up having mine be like you see this here. I want it to be one of my versions of the Transformers. It's gonna transform. Maybe it'll be some sort of triple changer or something like that. I don't know. Like I said, this is a very old version of it. I've done it up slightly better before, but I couldn't find it today. So I thought I had it on my hard drive, but I do not. New layer. Okay. Well, yeah, I'll try improving it definitely here. It won't be super improved, but it'll be somewhat improved. Yes. Yeah, well, that's. It seems like he has eyebrows because that's the back drawing. Like if I go like that, no more eyebrows. Hmm. So what us that? So what is that? What is what? This creature or this is supposed to be a, I wouldn't say an interpretation. I'm gonna have some scientist make a robot based on it. Like well, I'm probably gonna end up having my character the with, like I said, I'm probably gonna make it one of my Transformers, which I call Cyber Droids. All right, improve it. So let's see. Let's try and improve. So there's probably going to be end up being a transformer of feature to him. I came up with the character, like I said, when I was 15. I haven't done a whole lot with him. That's supposed to be the abyss, but yeah, it's mine's supposed to be a machine. Well, I shouldn't say obviously, but hmm, let's see. Hey, John, how are you? Not much. Just I read from Revelation 9, and there's a creature in there that's fascinated me for years. So, long time ago, I decided to make a robot, sort of a robot, transformer version of it for my thing. And, well, this is a very old drawing that you're seeing in the background. I'm trying to update it, remaster it as part of my show. And then I'm going to be remastering a couple of my other characters. Let's see. The description is more from verses, let's say 4 or 5 to 11. What it's all, the description of it and what it's all about. This obviously will not look exactly like it because, well, it's supposed to be end up being a transformer. So maybe I'll make it like a triple changer or something like that. This isn't a locust per se. This is supposed to be a robotic thing with some of those features built in. Like, although I gotta change the wings. No. Well, they say locust, but it's more than just a regular locust. It's like a locust on steroids or something like that. I thought it might be some biological thing that we some humans create. I've had a few different theories over the years. I think it's going to be a biological creature of some sort, maybe even with some mechanical stuff on it. Yeah. And they should seek death and will not find it. So, this. Just turn your brain if it's. Yeah, but somehow I don't think that's going to work, Bob. sort of what I could get from a passage like this. You could like go and run in front of a car and get hit, not and you won't die. Severely deformed, broken legs or whatever. But you'll still have the pain. Of the thing, plus the pain of getting hit by a car. Well, that's my interpretation, anyways. Sure. Let me send you a link. Okay, I gotta. Uh, a little price. Peace, I think you mean of immortality. Come on, Rich. Get this. Okay, I gotta stop sharing for a sec, Bob. To get. I'll just put the link in the group in Facebook, John. Oh, okay. What's your Twitter? You can find me easily as Cross Comics on Twitter. Would I pay the price of feeling that sort of pain to live forever? Nah, wouldn't be worth it then. Uh, okay, there you go, John. As you can see, or might see by now. I don't know when you'll see. Okay, so sharing my screen. Hey, Eagle, how are you? The locusts from Revelation 9 have a really cool. Do I? Well, it's in the Bible. I'm not sure what you mean, Eagle. Uh, uh, I read it earlier, so you can go to Gateway, BibleGateway.com, look up Revelation 9, and it's from about verse 4 to 11.
Hello, Rick.
Hello. Oh, I should get my yeah, earphones plugged in, so people. Okay, I gotta move some stuff around here. So, I might not be able to hear you for a couple seconds after I plug my headphones in. All this junk. Okay, earbuds are in. So now I can hear you and there won't be any echo feedback.
Cool. I gotta mess with my settings so I can get this focus going on with my camera's all out of focus right now.
Okay, so put that down there. Okay.
How does that look? Does that look in focus?
Hold on. Yeah, really focused.
Okay, good.
Hopefully, it should go back in between us as we're talking or whatever.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay, I always hit the wrong button spot. Okay, there. Okay, so you would choose. Bob saying, so Bob, you try to end your life, but you couldn't. That's the whole problem with this creature. It stings you. You try to end your life and you can't. So what are you working on there? Were you saying?
Yeah, I have a little comic book called Cosmonaut,
Okay.
and it's a well, here, let me show you. I have a finished page over here somewhere. Yeah. It's about these three girls.
Okay, I'm gonna. Present to everyone. Okay. It's about these three.
Three astronaut girls and their adventures in outer space.
Ah. Cool.
So, and I wanted to do something because I'm working on another one called The Last Judge. Ooh, I just dropped my soda. But it's really like this one is really time consuming. So it's a lot of detail and
oh yeah,
a lot of pain on the hands. So I decided I'm going to do this other one as kind of like just not so
detail oriented.
Yeah, just a lot of real stress free and fun drawings, because I don't like it gets tiring every now and then. You want to do something a little
doing
different.
all the detail.
Yeah. So right now in this panel, they had shot off this, or they were running away from these aliens, and they closed the hatch on their spaceship and chopped off one of the aliens' arms while closing the hatch. But they didn't accidentally, but they were trying to cook the arm because they're starving. They don't have no food. And now the arm, because it was activated by heat, almost like the Carnage symbiote.
Yeah.
And now it started to grow tentacles, but they're not in the ship, so it's like festering and growing these large tentacles and becoming a monster while they're away.
Yeah, lovely.
So
that just, doesn't really look like smoke. It looks. Sorry, commenting more on my drawing. Trying to remaster this and make it look better. I drew what more looked like flames instead of smoke.
What does the passage describe it as?
Well, it's saying a great smoke or whatever came up out of the abyss.
Okay.
Yeah, and smoke arose out of the pit as smoke of a great furnace. And the sun and air were darkened by the reason of the smoke of the pit.
Mm.
So I'm drawing that as his symbol on his chest.
Mm-hmm.
So for
Well,
whatever reason.
you like giving yourself a challenge.
And I think I did it all wrong too when I think about it. I drew everything around it black. And originally I think I'm gonna make the smoke, although I'm not sure whether it really looks like smoke, but maybe we can make it look like smoke later. But I'm going to make the smoke in that black because it describes that as black. Bottomless pit would be somewhat black, so have nose as black and him as some other color. I had him as his arms and that as green. You know, I think I was thinking more grasshoppers than locusts. Locusts aren't really green. They're deserty color, sandish, I think.
Yeah, I think that locusts are. Isn't locusts just when they congregate into a large group, they're then considered locusts.
No, I think grasshoppers and locusts are slightly different species, for lack of a better way of saying it.
Hmm.
I think they're the same kind of animal, but a different subgroup or whatever than grasshoppers. Because locusts more tend to be a lot more vicious, for lack of a better way of saying it. You know, they go after, they gather. The locusts almost always gather in groups and, eat major products, food stuff and all that. From what my knowledge is,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, I could be wrong. I haven't done a whole lot of study on locusts versus grasshoppers.
Because I remember I was watching some video on TV and it was talking about like infestations and swarms, and they were talking about rats and mice and locusts and stuff. And they were saying that I think that the only difference between a locust and a grasshopper is they might be a different species, but that the locusts are just because they do have a very, very similar, if not identical, appearance, but they have a more aggressive. When they get into a group, they just get more aggressive than grasshoppers.
Yeah.
I'm looking it up right now.
Well, that's one way to find out. And I'm changing this guy's wings too. Give him a slightly different wings before. Now I'm giving him more grasshopperish wings or locust wings, I think. Trying to, anyways. Instead of remastering them, so I might as well remaster them right.
What do you go to automatically when you try to think of like a grasshopper wing? Do you like automatically go to like a Bug's Life hopper?
I'm not sure. Well, here's what I'm doing. I'm not sure what you can see. Is it locked on you? Or is that just off me? Okay, there, hopefully. Just lock it on. No. That's what I just did, although I don't like my one wing, so. And that might be slightly off too, but I think of some sort of insect wing, maybe like a bee's or something like that, but maybe a little bit longer, larger.
Like a
I should
dragonfly kind of thing?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna take it off me now. Okay. Oh, my view is behind it a little bit. Okay. So what did you find out, or did you find out anything different, or the difference?
No, I think there are. I think they are different species.
Yeah. Like I said, same kind of animal, but different species, different variety in the same kind,
Yeah.
or same family group, as some people might say. I just used to use kind. It's a terminology. I know it's not a very scientific terminology.
I think that actually is the scientific terminology. Like I think it's genus, class.
Yeah.
And I think kind is actually in there.
Yeah. Well, I think it's more family because a lot of creation people have started using the word kind instead of species. Species is more a variety within a kind,
Hmm.
because you know a lot of people, when they tend to argue about Noah's Ark, you know, want to go all these species. Well, all the species that we have didn't exist then, but we had the kinds then. You know, we
Hmm.
might have had a few of the species. Bob's I use neither. It's just
Yeah, are you
you know,
familiar with the apologist Kent Hovind?
yes, I am.
Because he has like a long series of videos that delves really deep into all that.
Yeah, I like him for his science. Some of his other stuff, I'm not so keen on him with.
Yeah, he's a character,
Yeah,
but he's definitely entertaining.
yeah, and you got to be sort of entertaining to, get across. Humor is a way to get people to let down their guard a little.
Hmm.
But he goes, like I said, I like his science stuff. Some of his other stuff that he delves into. He's on a last days end times kick right now.
Oh,
Uh, since he got out of prison for his whole tax stuff and all that.
yeah.
And well, I disagree with a lot of his arguments for, because now he's become like a post tribber.
Mm.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what your religious base or what you know about. Well, obviously, you got to know something if you know. Well, not necessarily about the tribulation stuff, but if you know
No,
who Kent Hovind is, well, could know because a lot of atheists don't like him. But
no, I actually like Ken Hovind, but
yeah,
yeah, a lot of his stuff is like you gotta take everything with a grain of salt with anybody you
yeah,
listen to. But I like his stuff. He seems well intentioned.
yeah,
Like I don't see him as like a out and out charlatan or anything. You know.
yeah. No, for sure. Like I know years ago when in those videos that you're talking about, he talks about alcohol and not drinking. Well, I've looked up the scriptures. Not, I don't drink myself, but I know friends who do, and I got no problem with it.
Hmm.
But the scriptures he gives are a bit misleading for not drinking,
Well,
in my opinion.
from what I understand, oh, the only scripture that comes to mind is the wine is a mocker, beer a brawler, and whoever is led astray by them is not wise.
Yeah,
And I mean
yeah,
that sounds pretty self-explanatory because it does state in the Bible that you're supposed to be of sound mind and ever vigilant.
yeah.
yeah, I mean,
The,
it's not like.
the Bible more.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say the Bible says, don't get drunk,
Hmm.
with the wine and all that. It's all right to drink, just don't abuse it. Which is how I'd say with anything. You don't want to abuse anything. Anything
Yeah.
taken to excess is not good. But what were you going to say before we tried to talk over each other?
No, I was going to say that what I interpret that as is, I mean, drinking is fine, but if you are to lead somebody else astray by your drinking, or if you yourself become an alcoholic,
Yeah,
then that's where you've crossed the line.
yeah, for
Like,
sure.
buying alcohol for minors, that sort of thing, or drinking to excess where you wake up and you feel like you need a drink, then you've gone way too far.
Yeah, agreed.
I remember I went through that when I just went my first like semester of community college. I had started drinking a lot, and then I had woken up and I thought to myself, like, I actually didn't want, but I actually needed a beer, and I was like, I gotta stop. What is going on?
Yeah. Okay, what's Bob? Bob saying, someone said to me, I drink to forget, but I always remember.
Isn't that a lyric to some song?
I don't know. Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of people drink just to forget their troubles, and unfortunately, when they come through, their troubles are there again.
Yeah. A lot of people use that the drink as like a mediator for their social anxiety.
Yeah, sort of like what's his name on Big Bang Theory? Not Fez. That's wrong. Kuther Polly. I think it's Kuther Polly. I'm not
Oh.
sure whether you watch The Big Bang Theory.
I actually don't watch that show.
But there's this East Indian guy in it. At the beginning of the series, he can't talk to girls at all. If a girl's there, he just clams up.
Hmm.
And somewhere in the middle of the series, if he ends up having alcohol, he can, talk no problem to girls.
It
Yeah,
becomes
the Indian.
it becomes all suave.
I'm not sure whether he becomes suave. I wouldn't say become suave, but suddenly, he's not so not sure what the word is. Shy, paranoid, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
So that's a bit of a funny thing for that series. And then of course there's Sheldon.
Yeah, I've seen a couple episodes, but I just never got into it.
Yeah.
Like, I keep seeing that David. Well, not his name's not David in the show, but from Roseanne, the one that used to play Roseanne's daughter's boyfriend.
Oh, I think he's playing Leonard, one of the main characters.
Yeah,
If
I
I
can't.
remember.
I can't seem to separate him from the Roseanne role. I see him, and I'm like, yeah, that's not you. You're from Roseanne.
Uh, Actually, the daughter that he dated in Roseanne has been in it a couple times, and they had dated for a little bit or something to maybe not date it. Maybe they've went out a couple times. How about that?
That works.
In the series. Now, obviously, nothing happened beyond that, but well, they didn't get too well engaged.
Is it true that her name's Darlene in the show, but she's the sister of the Little House on the not the Little House on the Prairie? Is it
Yeah,
little? Yeah, the Little House on the Prairie. Laura Ingalls.
yeah, that's what I've heard. Yeah, they're sisters, her and
Because I don't
Melissa,
see it at all.
Melissa Gilbert and her, yeah, are supposed to be sisters. That's what I've heard. And I'm like, okay, that's surprising.
Yeah, they don't look anything like.
I would have never guessed that one. When I heard it years ago, I'm like, what the? You're kidding. But apparently they weren't, so. Let's do this right. I'm gonna remaster them. Let's remaster them really good.
It's hard for me to go back and look at my old drawings. I just cringe.
Yeah, this is a bit cringy. I have one that I did slightly better a few years ago, but I thought I had put it in my computer, but I can't find it. So it's like I gotta work. I just figured with doing that verse, I do remaster him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Just figured it suited. Although I've got a couple others that I was planning on remastering too. Although this one's taking a little bit more time than I thought, but. So crown now. Let's get the gold. I mean, medals. Bob's like, I cringe while drawing. Bob's, I'd say he's an aspiring artist, but he likes drawing. He's not too bad. He's pretty good. He's probably better than I was at. He's probably better than me than when I was 15.
Oh, he's 15.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I ended up waiting way too long to start drawing. Well, I was a lazy loafer and ended up wasting a good portion of my 20s and didn't actually get into life until
That's pretty good.
my late 20s.
Yeah. I started drawing when I was like probably 15, but not good. Hey, Pixel. We got John on here. Oh, you gonna come? Hey, John, are you available to come on like 10 Eastern, about 10 Eastern Standard Time tonight? 10:30?
I don't know. I'm actually I got to go to my niece's birthday. She's having a zoo party at the San Diego Zoo.
Oh.
So I might have to go down there tonight. But if I don't go down there tonight and I just go tomorrow morning, I'll be available at 10.
Yeah, just because Manny's going to be on tonight, and he was talking about maybe you and, well, he's thinking more than you and him, but maybe you and him do a draw off between the two of you.
Oh, he's looking for pain, huh?
Well, he won the fan one this week.
I know, I saw.
So it's sort of a little bit of a draw off between the two winners so far.
That's fine. That's fine.
And he's thinking Slave Leia.
Slave Leia?
Yeah, you know, from Jabba's
oh,
house.
Yeah, Star Wars. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, if I don't head out there, because my wife and I were thinking about going and getting a hotel, and because zoos open early and they close early.
Yeah.
So well, maybe we just go, but because we live in Riverside area, Riverside, California.
Well, if you're not available tonight, what about Saturday night?
Saturday night, yeah, definitely.
Okay, then we'll get it for Saturday night. You and hopefully I got to make sure Manny's available. He should be for Saturday night. But what do you think of that, guys? Slave Leia draw off between the two winners of fan series so far. Fan edition. Hey Pixel, is there any way we can change that from fan edition to maybe like minor league edition edition or up and comers edition. It's just fan. Well, I thought amateur, but Manny doesn't like that because he thinks it sounds too derogative. Not derogative, but put downish. Which okay, fine, yeah, I can get that. But I think fan because we're more than fans, you know. You know, as he said, you know, some of us. You're a professional. He's a professional.
I'm not a
Uh,
professional by any means.
well, you've put out some stuff. That's what I. That's what he means. You know, anybody who's put out stuff is a semi-professional or whatever, however you want to say,
Well,
semi-pro.
like I would consider anybody that's considers himself a pro is somebody that does the work and gets money, and I have yet to receive money. No, he's had a. I was listening to you guys earlier, and he's has a former career.
Yeah.
I could see why I guess he would be slighted by the word fan, but I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't.
No, he's not slighted by the word fan. He's slighted by the word amateur.
Oh, okay.
I'm the bringing up the word fan because, like I said, we're more than fans. You know, we're more. You're planning on producing a book, right? Yourself. I'm planning on doing stuff like that, and I think a fun edition. And I think I think a bunch of us are planning on doing stuff like that. So that's why I'm thinking more not fan because I think we're more than fans, if you know what I mean.
I know, but I don't know. I don't have that.
I know it doesn't really matter. I just thought I'd ask, you know. Yeah.
No, it don't bother me. I mean, honestly, that's how I got into this community because I'm a super fan of Richard C. Meyer. Like I don't have any reservations calling myself his fan or Ethan's fan.
Oh, neither do I. It's just, you know, as artists, we're more than fans, is my thought, you know. But like I said, if we keep it with fan edition, I'm not going to lose any sleep either. You know, I just.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, whatever you decide is fine with me.
Well, I'm not the one running the show, so
it's
I
y'all
just.
show.
Okay. I feel I like it's fan of the show. Oh, for fan of the thing. Okay. I'll put it in the group, Pixel.
No, but I mean, everybody has their own.
Be there.
You know, everybody's at a different stage of where they want to be when it comes to their artwork, and you know, if you want to be referred to as something, I don't see any reason why we shouldn't.
White box John. White box John, so people can't read chat. Oh, I just have the chat. Guess I just have the chats up there usually for when I'm sharing my screen, Pixel, so I can see the chats. I guess I could just put the chat on my other computer here. Put that. Oh, I think I know what you mean. Duh. Sorry. You meant in here. Sorry.
What is Pixel coming in?
Yeah, he was saying drop him a link, so Yeah, I realized that before you said it, Pixel, about the Facebook chat. Sorry. Uh, uh, the link's there if you want to grab it now. Hopefully it works. Let me know if it doesn't. Uh,
There we go.
oh, there you are.
Figured it was easier just to talk to you guys here than to sit there and try to type stuff up while I'm looking over here.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, I don't have a problem changing the name. It's not that big a deal. Like I said in chat, I was just thinking fan edition, like being the fans of the show of Mike's
Yeah.
show.
I didn't know that's how you meant it, so I just
Yeah, it could be.
again, it's no big deal for me in a way. I just something I thought I'd suggest. But then
Yeah,
again, we've got the name now. Changing it might confuse people.
it could. It's possible. I mean, we've only what 2 shows in, so it's not that
Yeah,
big a deal.
yeah,
We can put it to a vote, but I don't think it's a.
yeah. It's not a big deal. It's just thought something I thought I'd suggest. Because like I said, I thought I think of us as more than fans, but like you said, fan of the show.
Yeah,
Depends on how people want to take it too in the audience too.
yeah. Originally, I was going to call it Home Edition, but everybody's pretty much at home anyway, so it didn't quite work very well. Like when you see those shows back in the day, like the 80s and stuff, a lot of the game shows and stuff, they would have a home version of the game that they would give the
Yeah,
participants, and so you could take that home and play because it was like a consolation prize. I was thinking about trying to do it like that, but then I was like, it's a little bit different nowadays. But
yeah. Well, especially with YouTube, like you said, pretty much everybody's not at home, you
yeah,
know, doing their artwork for even the pro edition. They're at home.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, all of my friends that were watching the fan edition when I was on were saying they couldn't tell the difference between my voice and Pixel's voice.
Oh, really? That's pretty funny.
Wow. Yeah, I can tell the difference. But then again, with all that number of voices, it could possibly get confusing, especially if you don't lock onto the voice right away.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Well, I got that problem every time I watch when I watch an Ethan stream and he has so many people on, and before they were established and before we knew who they were, you can't really pick out a voice in the
Well,
crowd.
they go through the same thing though too. Like when Antonio and Kanan actually Antonio's got a pretty distinct voice, but Ben and Kanan, their voices are very similar when they first start talking, and they would get those two guys confused quite a bit. But yeah, it's interesting. It's because for the longest time, I mean, I've met people through the community and stuff, just chatting and everything, and to finally put voices to people's names and stuff over the last couple of weeks, doing stuff like this and other live streams like Fan Speak and things like that.
Yeah,
It's been cool. It's been really
yeah.
cool.
Putting faces to the voices. Well, then again, sometimes depends on whether they're like me. A lot of times, I'm right on the camera, so it's easy to put a face to my voice.
Yeah.
I think I got traumatized by Zach. I was watching one of his early videos and he was explaining why he doesn't have his face on the videos. Because he's horrendously ugly and nobody really wants to look at a guy's face. And I'm like, yeah, I can see that. So that's why I haven't done any face reveal yet.
There's one picture of me floating around right now. It was when I first joined Comicsgate because I met Mike at Comic Con, and that's pretty much it. Other than that, I haven't really close to my face. I probably will. Actually, what'll probably happen once I get to a point where I want to do my own book, uh, when it gets to the point where I want to actually put it out, my real name will probably come out and the photo and all that kind of stuff, and I'm not going to worry about it. But until then, I'm Pixel Trader. I'm going to stay that way though. I think I'll just keep using the Pixel Trader name, but we'll see what happens. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to probably use I use Cross Comics. A lot of people know me as Rick too.
Yeah.
You know, I let my subscribers know. You know, I don't care whether you know my name's Rick. Anyway, okay. Bob saying I know a lot of people from school and stuff. I don't see people watch TV, me included. They watch news, but not on TV. Why? Because they can't wait for it.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's definitely become an on-demand kind of reality now. You know, like my kid grew up just wanting, like, I want to listen to this song or I want to listen to these type of things. Like the whole concept of, scheduled television. Like, oh, I want to watch SpongeBob, but SpongeBob's not on until 9. Nowadays, it's like in demand. I can go watch whatever I want or stuff like that. It's that instant gratification kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, being able to pull up the news online and get all your information instead of having to wait till 6 o'clock when it comes on TV.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Or your even your 24 hours news stations now.
Yeah. Yep.
Like the Comedy News Network.
Remember when you had to watch the news and wait till the end of the broadcast when they got to the segment that you were interested in?
Yeah.
Yeah, they'd tease it through the entire show and then they'd release it like the last 5 minutes. Dang it.
Like what you're feeding to your children that could kill them coming up 2 hours.
Yeah.
So there is a bit of a revamped version of the creature from Revelation 9.
Excellent.
I like the new color pattern.
I like the tail.
Pardon it? You like the tail?
Yeah.
Thanks. Maybe because of long commercials, Bob's saying too.
Oh yeah, commercials. Man, I pay for YouTube Red. Actually, I pay for Google Play Music, and I get YouTube Red for free. And oh man, I get so annoyed when I have to watch an ad now. It kills me.
Most of the time, I just skip the ads. Yeah, you're right. I get annoyed when they say you can't skip this kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I get really super angry when I watch a YouTube video and then the advertisement actually references the skip button. I'm like, don't get into my life.
Yeah. That's great. So I heard you're up in Riverside.
Yeah.
So we said, nice. I'm actually in San Diego.
Oh, I'm going to San Diego tonight.
Right on. Yeah, the zoo's a good place to go to visit. Actually, have you ever been to the safari park though?
No. Well, I think it's a lot more expensive, isn't it?
I don't think it really is. I don't know. I haven't gone to the zoo in a while. The safari park is pretty sweet just because it's more natural habitat kind of stuff. It's still a zoo, but it feels a lot more natural. But it's a good time, and they also do. I don't know if it's. I think they probably stopped doing it now, but they do late night encounter kind of stuff too. So like you can go there at nighttime. They got all the lights and stuff turned on.
Oh, I know. They had this because I know the San Diego Zoo is just leaps and bounds better than most other zoos in the country, and the LA Zoo was doing so poorly. They were having the when you become a member of the zoo, you can go and pet the animals at night and stuff. They were trying to get people. Yeah, it was bad. It was like, just leave it alone. Yeah, I think if you become like a what do you call it? A patron of the zoo for $400 a year, then you get 2 encounters with the puppy, or not the puppies, but the cubs.
Huh, cool. That'd be almost worth it.
I don't know. I get scared of wild animals.
Yeah. They're all nice and cute and cuddly till they eat you.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they won't eat you when they're like, youngins.
True.
That's because I'm a truck driver by trade, and when I was driving over the road. That means going to like all 48 states. Like I was terrified every time I had to drive through the South, like Louisiana, Mississippi, because they have these truck stops with raised platforms. So if there's gators in the area, they won't climb up onto the platform, so you can walk safely. But they tell you when you get out of your trucks in the morning to make sure to check around where you're going to step out, just so you don't accidentally step on a gator tail or something. I did not want to get out of the truck.
That's insane.
So, I'm not sure whether you heard in what we were discussing. Tomorrow night, we're going to have a draw off between Manny and John.
Oh, yeah, Slave Leia, huh?
Yeah.
Are you locked in on Slave Leia, or do you want to pick something else? Because I think John's going to run away with it.
Well, what's his name? Manny was suggesting Slave Leia. So that way I can use it as a
clickbait.
Yeah.
That works. I like the idea. Clickbait definitely works.
And Manny's got a pretty good Slave Leia that he's done too.
Oh, I see. So I don't know, John, have you done a Slave Leia yet?
I'm not worried about it. But well, I know he's done a Slave Leia, but how fast can he do a Slave Leia?
Well, that's true. Very true. Yeah, you knocked that piece out for Rogue. Holy crap!
Like that's like they're like no bull. Like there's many artists out there that I know personally that are way better than me, but I have yet to meet somebody faster than me.
Yeah.
My problem is
until I went on the Pro Edition.
Dude, Mike and Art's actually kind of slow apparently, but he knocked that piece out pretty well. But Mike, my God, I got to see the Captain America piece in person. Holy crap! Yeah, holy crap! That piece is insanely detailed. Like he went in and did every single, like, you know how he has like the fish scale kind of armor.
Yeah.
He did every single one of those, like all the way down his arm and like the whole chest area and stuff. And it wasn't just like single line. Like he had like depth lines. And, like,
you're kidding me,
dude. He absolutely should have won. Like if people wouldn't have been seeing Potato Cam version of this, he would have won. It was amazing.
Bob's wondering, do you guys know how to read manga? I'm not sure what he means by that.
That's from right to left.
Yeah, right to left, and
that's Japanese. You read it opposite usually.
Yeah, I've got some manga here at the house. Actually, what's really funny is I actually have manga that I brought back from Japan that I can't read because it's in Japanese, but I don't care. I still look at the pictures.
Yeah, I've never actually got into the manga. I mean, I've gotten into anime, but I've never gotten into manga comics.
Yeah.
Because every time somebody hands me a manga, it's always in black and white. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. I don't want to read this. I got no color.
Yeah, it's the nature of the platform, I guess, too, because usually manga is produced in those really big volumes. And so they just knock out the pages. You rarely see them in color.
Yeah, I was watching some show talking about that website, Tapastic or Taptastic. Is that comic? It's solely online subscription based, and they'll actually hire you if you produce so many pages per day. But it's real simple stuff. They try to make you knock out a bunch of stuff in a short amount of time to get on their actual payroll. And a lot of it ends up being black and white.
Okay. Eagle's asking, what are they doing on the next Drawn and Quartered? As far as I know, they're doing another DC character.
Lobo.
Okay. Well, I was going to say, my guess is it's probably going to be a male character, and it's probably going to be voted on. They did the vote last week for different girl characters, so they might do a vote this week for different guy characters.
was I think at the end of the show, because you guys started that show before that one had ended, right?
Pardon?
You started your fan show right before the Drawn and Quartered ended.
I started it a couple minutes before it ended, but we didn't start drawing till they had actually announced, I think, the winner, or till they actually had stopped drawing at least.
Yeah, no, because at the very end, somebody threw in $100 super chat for Lobo, and they were like, "Well, I guess it's gonna be Lobo then."
Oh, okay. Because I shut down I shut down practically everything. Being the host, they didn't want to have too much open, tearing up my bandwidth. I got unlimited uploading, downloading, but it was just so I could see and hear in our chat and all that.
Is that the problem with Mike's camera? Is it the bandwidth that is taking it?
Yeah, I talked to Mike about it. His bandwidth. So originally, he had 1. I think it was 1.2 or 1.3 megabits up. Yeah, he was basically on like old school like DSL speeds. He got upgraded. Unfortunately, the upgrade pushed him up to about 5. So he's still, his upload speed still isn't very good. It's much better than it was, but I think it's a combination of things. I think his camera probably isn't configured correctly, and then his upload speed is just really capping his throughput.
Because I have that same Logitech camera that he has, I think. And my stuff usually comes out pretty clear.
I think it might also be his computer and all that too. Like Pixel was saying, a variety of different things are causing problems.
I'm sure it is. I think he might have a driver issue. I mean, I know it's a Mac, but I mean, even though the Macs, the camera software sometimes doesn't work at its best if you don't have the software installed. So there's that potential, but I really think it's primarily just YouTube's not being able to get the data from him fast enough. And so, 5 megabits per second up, I think was like the highest he had. So, like mine here at the house it averages between 15 and 20 for up speed. My down speed.
Is it because he's in Hawaii?
No, he's in San Diego.
Oh, and it still looks like that, huh?
Yeah, he's just on AT&T, and AT&T has terrible service. I was like, dude, you got to get over to Spectrum or somebody else, Cox or somebody. But he hasn't done that yet, so I'm not sure what's going to happen there.
Yeah, because he's streaming from New York, and it still looks like garbage.
Yeah, well, that I think he's doing from probably the number one from his cell phone. I don't know who his provider is for that, but then I think in the room, God, hotel Wi-Fi. Holy crap, that's terrible.
Oh, and expensive as hell too.
Yeah, upload speeds are usually capped at like 1 to 2 megabits per second. Download is a little bit better, but usually not much.
I'm not sure what my stuff is. I should do a test at some point. Again, I do them every so often. I think I'm supposed to have like 10 megabytes per second for at least download. Okay, there's something wrong here.
Honestly, I don't even know if that's good because my wife takes care of all that stuff. I'm a young boomer myself when it comes to technology.
Yeah, you can just go to speedtest.net and then check out your numbers from there. That'll give you an idea of where you're at.
Because I grew up in this area right outside of Riverside called Miraloma, and it's a real poor town. Like our high school, we didn't even have computers. I mean, like when I did my papers for like my senior year of high school, I still had to pull out a big chunky old typewriter and type them up that way. And that was already 2002.
Ouch.
I remember 2 years after I left, they got a computer lab.
Oh man. Yeah, it's funny. My school has a really nice lap pool and a bunch of other stuff now. Like when I was a kid there, like come on, man, I would have loved that. Now, nothing.
So did you see a pool?
They've got a full-on like Olympic-sized pool,
Oh my!
and yeah, like they opened up the swim team right after I graduated. They got the pool finished and did that, and they added a bunch of other stuff. The school looks way different than it used to when I was there, and I drove by it. I actually went back to my hometown like 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, and just like visited family and stuff. And I went through there, and I'm like, holy crap! Like, this is not the school I went to at all.
I don't know.
But
The thing is, I still feel that rivalry when I go. I was at the Stater Brothers the other day, and there's a high school that was our main competitor for football, and they were selling or they were asking for donations for the Rubidoux high school football team. And the first thing that came out of my mouth, I was like, man, Rubidoux sucks. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Exactly. Well, so I grew up in the San Joaquin Valley, like Central California. And there's a lot of small cities, towns really, that are all around the area that all competed against each other in the certain league that we were in. And so every once in a while I'll run into somebody from one of those cities and like, oh yeah, I grew up in like Firebaugh or something like that. I'm like, oh, Firebaugh sucks. Same thing.
Oh, Firebaugh, is it? Yeah, you guys suck.
Yeah, we kicked your ass on the basketball court quite a few times.
okay, hold up a sec, guys. Bob asking, how many have watched anime titles? Or his English can be atrocious sometimes. How many watched anime titles do you have? I know Rick isn't the most informed for anime in that. I guess, have you watched anime? What do you watch? Do you have any of it on DVD? I guess is what he's saying.
I've watched so much anime. I can't even start to begin with the exactly. Ghost in the Shell, I still think is my favorite property as far as anime goes. The Ghost in the Shell, oh God, what is it called? Standalone Complex. It was a TV series. That and the second season of it called Second Gig were really really good. I love that series. There was one just recently that came out called Megalobox, which is a homage to I can't think of the name of it now, but it was a boxing anime from like 40, 50 years ago. Megalobox is awesome as well. What else? I mean, like Akira. I watch that every once in a while because that's just mind blowing still. I don't know. What about you, Cross? Have you watched anything that you thought was pretty neat?
Well, like as he said, I'm not a lot informed on a lot of modern anime. Probably my favorites are like older stuff like Robotech,
The classics.
Battle of the Planets.
Okay.
I've watched some Sailor Moon, some Digimon. Probably seen some other stuff. Sometimes I don't always think of these stuff in those terms. Sometimes I just think it's a cartoon to me.
Yeah.
I know it's a different style, but it'd be like when I was a kid, Robotech was just a cartoon to me, or Battle of the Planets. I didn't think of it as anime or whatever. I hadn't even heard that term when I was a kid, so I just ended up, and it's only nowadays that I'm putting it together that this is actually anime. So
yeah, or it's like shows that you watched as a kid were actually like an amalgamation of like 3 or 4 different shows and you didn't realize it. Kind of like Power Rangers and stuff, where they took a bunch of different shows and kind of mixed them together to make one show.
yeah, I always said like Power Rangers.
I heard about that.
Right? I had no idea. I knew it was Japanese because you'd see the backgrounds and stuff, like they're running through the halls and like the exit signs are in Japanese and stuff, but they're suddenly white kids or like actually they're mixed, but sitting in their little high school pub kind of looking thing, whatever. And you're like, wait a second, how do they get to Japan? It just never clicked that it was multiple shows that they'd like taken apart. Now I want to go back and watch those.
Oh no!
What was
My ink pen just spilled. Ugh.
Ooh, not good.
Man down,
Uh,
man down.
I'll be back. I gotta get some towels.
Yeah, Bob says Ghost in the Shell live adaption's good. Or is he? I'm asking, he might be asking, is it good? And Humphrey Bear says howdy.
Hi, Humphrey. Okay, so my opinion on the Ghost in the Shell live action movie is that it was a missed opportunity. I think visually the movie is fantastic, but the story I think deviated far too much from the original story, and it upset fans. I think people that weren't familiar with the show probably or with the movies and stuff probably enjoyed it and liked it for what it was. But for the hardcore fans and people that had been waiting for 30 years for this movie to come out, I think it hurt people's feelings,
Yeah.
and I can understand why.
That's actually a movie I meant to go see too. I haven't seen it yet. I want to see it.
Yeah, I wouldn't saw it in the theater. I was happy to see it in the theater, but
I knew it was a comic book movie, but I never got. And I like to go see comic book movies in the theater, even though I don't always know the property.
Speaking of which, you saw Venom last night, right?
Yeah,
Tell me, what'd you think about it?
I thought it was all right. It loses a lot, in my opinion, without the Spider-Man attached to it because they have to rewrite the origin completely. They got to rewrite Eddie Brock. There's so much they have to rewrite about him that to me it loses a lot. It was good visually, I think it started off a little too slow because it took like probably a quarter or a third at least to get him into the Venom costume or to get the symbiote on him.
Gotcha. Okay.
But like I said, overall, as a movie, I think it was all right. But, as sort of a fan of Venom, and I'm not a super huge fan of Venom, it left a little bit to be desired. And I think it's all due to the fact of they can't draw on the Spider-Man part of his origin.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Hey, Space. One of my somewhat regulars. But yeah, I know. No, you're in San Diego. If you have a cheap day to go see it, that's what I would suggest.
Okay. Have you seen Upgrade?
I've heard of it, but I don't think I've seen it.
It's okay. So it's a movie. Actually, when I first saw the trailer for it, I actually thought it was Tom Hardy as the main actor too. It's it's this movie where him and his wife get into a situation where his wife is killed, and he's injured to a point where he can't move anymore.
Yeah.
And he's implanted kind of like a symbiote, but it's a computer chip that's got an AI on board, and it allows him to walk and get control of his body again.
Ah.
Anyway, so he goes out and tries to figure out. Yeah, he figures out who had hurt him and his wife, and kind of hunts them down and tries to figure out what's going on and all that kind of stuff. And it reminded me a lot of Venom, in a way.
Uh-huh.
But it's a really well done sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
But not
you should check out maybe the first 5 minutes of last night's show. Spider-Man swung by and did the review.
Oh, nice.
That was your thumbnail, right?
Pardon it?
That was your thumbnail for the video?
Oh, no, it's not a thumbnail, but I have this hoodie that I can zip up, and it's got the whole Spider-Man face. So I wore it to do for the first 5 minutes or something of the video to do it.
That's great.
I just thought, the title of the thing is special guest. Well, it's supposed to be. I put special guest review accidentally. It's supposed to be guest star review of Venom. So the guest star Spider-Man. I just thought that might be.
That's actually what made me click on the video.
Pardon it?
I saw that thumbnail that had a picture of you in the Spider-Man sweater. I was like, oh, I gotta click on this and see what's going on.
Oh, it's actually the thumbnail for it too.
When I was scrolling by, that's what I saw.
Oh, okay. I might have to try and make that the thumbnail. Okay. Hey, John, your hand looks like it's from Parasite.
Parasite, what's that?
It's an anime cartoon. So obviously you don't know what Parasite is. I just
No, I do
know.
not.
Pardon?
Oh, I see. I'm looking it up right now on my phone. No, I'm a real passive consumer of almost everything. I get, I don't have that that hardcore devotion to any one
Genre?
not even genre, but just anything. I have like a lot of real passing fancies for a lot of different hobbies. I do also do like little miniatures for D&D games. I make little houses and towns, and I also like to go hiking and gold panning and stuff. But I never really get super into any one thing.
Ah,
So like I watch anime, but my anime knowledge is very broad in general. When I grew up, I watched Dragon Ball Z and Sailor Moon and the real basic stuff, Ninja Scroll, just the most famous things.
yeah.
I don't have any inside knowledge about any one particular thing.
So basically like me, but sounds like a slightly different generation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, mine's Robotech and Battle of the Planets. And, although I did watch some Digimon. I like Digimon better than Pokemon. Pokemon sucks.
How dare you?
Oh man, I got my introduction to manga primarily, well, actually anime, but Manga Entertainment used to be a company. I don't even know if they're around anymore, but they were the ones that were importing a lot of the movies and stuff to the U.S. for a long time, and they brought across. I think they were the ones that were responsible for Ghost in the Shell, but they also brought across like Shadow Skill and Ninja Scroll and a lot of the other ones like Pat Labor, um, Tank Police, a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
But that's how I kind of got introduced to it because their movies were over at oh god, what was the name of that store? I think it was Sam Goody, if I remember correctly. They had a whole selection of anime and stuff there, and that's how I used to get my movies back on
Uh,
VHS.
Bob's wondering, do you guys use subtitles when watching anime? Probably if
Yeah.
it's in Japanese. It's not like they can understand the Japanese.
Well, the thing is, I got used to watching subtitles real young because I was into Dragon Ball Z, and me and my brother would take the train to Chinatown in LA, and they would have the future because Dragon Ball Z takes forever to get anywhere, so they would have the future episodes, but they would be in Spanish, which I don't speak. So I had to read the subtitles because it was in Spanish.
Oh wow, yeah. I do both. If I'm working, I prefer uh, I prefer to have dub just so I can kind of pay attention to something else at the time. I can't do anything else if I'm watching subtitles because I'll get really mad that I missed something.
Yeah.
It sounds like me. Stop, rewind. What did that person say? If I'm watching subtitles.
Yeah, like I had a subscription to Crunchyroll, and pretty much everything that they have on there is subs, and it's like a lot of the movies and stuff or shows I was watching were all subbed. Uh, Darling in the Franks, which just recently came out, was all subbed. I didn't even realize they had a dubbed version of it until later. Uh, but I went back and watched a couple other things. But then there's a sister company of theirs called Verve, VRV. I think it's VRV.com or something like that. Anyway, Verve actually has a lot of the stuff dubbed, and so
Oh, cool.
you get access to Crunchyroll and a couple other sites too. Speaking of which, I need to cancel my subscription. I'm not using it.
That's how they get you.
Oh, I know.
My wife really wanted me to get the YouTube Red for 1 month just so we could watch the Cobra Kai. And I ended up paying an extra month because I forgot.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I hate it when you
Yeah.
forget to cancel a subscription and it costing you money.
Yeah, I've had Google Play Music for about a year and a half now, something like that. I don't know if they still offer it or not, but at the time when I got it, you got the YouTube Red for free as part of that subscription. And so it's like $10 a month, and so I get unlimited music, and I have ad-free YouTube, plus all the YouTube Red stuff. So
I was in some crazy good deal on Sirius satellite radio. I switched over to Sirius when Howard Stern went over there. And because I was one of like a certain number of people that switched over first, I got a lifetime subscription for free.
Oh, wow.
And then my car got jacked and my radio got taken out of it.
And they wouldn't migrate your subscription?
No, they would not. I was like,
that's
no.
messed up.
So but I had it for a good 3 years before I had to start paying for it.
Okay, what's this? Bob's from Italy, so I don't like the English dubbed in general. I don't read subtitles either. I use Russian dub because he's Russian. He's
Whereabouts? Whereabouts in Italy is he?
Whereabouts in Italy are you, Bob?
I was in Italy for 4 months on a study abroad program. It was great.
And that's you, Pixel, right? I know. I knew that was going to come up as soon as I said it.
I went over there. I was in. We were in Florence, and then we did trips to Milan and Venice and Rome and that sort of thing, but mainly in Florence.
He's saying he's in the north. So, not saying much more than that, so that's all right, too.
I've got his address, but I can't dox him.
Oh.
Well, I mailed him his card, so... Actually, I need to destroy that list so nobody can get a hold of it, but I haven't done it yet.
Oh, I saw that video where Zach got my card. I wanted that Tick and Sporkman card so bad.
Oh, yeah, John. Something I meant to say. You can get the pick of Iceman if you happen to win, but you can't get him kissing anybody because it's a picture of the character, nobody else.
Oh, I don't want it then. I want him chasing all the boys.
The commission is a character, not many characters. Venice surroundings, he says.
Oh. And one thing I was really surprised about with Venice, I don't want to talk trash, but Venice smells. And when you're there, it's like not that great. But when you leave, you have like really vivid, majestic, grand memories of Venice and you want to go back. But when you're there, it's kind of like, this place is kind of grimy because it floods like twice a day.
Oh, wow.
They have this big like World War II air siren that goes off like twice a day. And everybody has to go and take the tables in the streets and start stacking them in a row so you have a boardwalk to walk on. And they have like big trash bag dispensers so you can put them on your feet when you have to go into an actual building. You have to walk through the water.
Cool.
Ended up having to carry one of the girls that was on the trip with us. She ended up stepping on a piece of broken glass in the water, and we had to carry her to the hotel so we can call an ambulance.
Ooh, ouch. That could hurt. Probably did.
So what are you working on here?
Me?
John, sorry.
Oh, this is a Cosmonaut. This is a little. I've been putting these up on Twitter, but I kind of been falling behind. But this is kind of like a break from my regular comic book that I'm working on, because I'm working on my magnum opus, which is called The Last Judge. This is it right here.
Gotcha.
And it's really taxing on my hands. So I started another book, which I could do really quick, really fun, fast drawings called Cosmonaut, which is this here. And it's just three girls, and they got trapped in a wormhole, and they got thrown to a far-flung area of space, and they're trying to find food and a way home. And I put that up for free on my my Facebook. So every time I finish a page, I just put it up. It's low quality. I just snap a picture with my phone and upload it. But the plan is once I get about 100 of these done, I'm gonna do an Indiegogo for a small graphic novel.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bob's saying the delivery for his card was fast. He liked your fast delivery.
Dude, he got it faster than some people in the U.S.
Wow.
I don't know how that happened, but like he got it within 3 days, 3 business days, or less.
Oh wow. Guess prior. Did you send it priority mail or something?
No, I sent it just a standard rate letter with 2 stamps on it, basically. I didn't do anything different, and I guess just got lucky. I don't know.
Sounds like it for sure.
The only thing I can think of is some of the people that won are out in the sticks somewhere, and like they have to like horseback it in or something. I don't know, but yeah, he got his just fine.
Yeah, I know my buddy. I'm actually going to be starting to do a podcast with him, but he lives up in the Crestline Lake Arrowhead area, and because his town is so small and it's up in the mountains, they get like group mail once a week delivered up to him.
Oh wow,
Oh wow.
that's cool though. How's his internet connection?
He has great Wi-Fi.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's up closer to the satellites, right? So
I guess I don't know.
Yeah, that's the part that drives me crazy. I've got a friend that's out in Brainerd, Missouri, or not Missouri, Minnesota. Excuse me, Brainerd, Minnesota. He's got fiber, and it's like ridiculously fast. It's like 500 megabits per second up and down. And I'm looking at that, going, "I'm in San Diego. You're out in BFE, and I can't get fiber at my house. Come on, man. That's just not cool."
Yeah, I don't know what it's about, but I remember my phone just died out going up there when I was following the directions how to get to his house. And then he's like, "Oh yeah, hook up to the Wi-Fi," and that thing was faster than the Wi-Fi at my house. I was like, "Damn, this is great."
just gotta love it. Well, he's not competing with anybody way up there for the Wi-Fi either. So
I guess that's true.
in the city, you're competing with how many people? Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on how they manage your bandwidth. But yeah. I'm getting jealous. I'm sitting here trying to work and make breakfast at the same time, and all I really want to do is draw. So seeing you guys doing your thing, it's like, come on.
I know. Last night I was working and driving around, and had their video playing in the background, and everybody was drawing Venom, and I just wanted to pull over and draw Venom.
Everyone hoped for Venom. What, the movie, or just you are the luckiest? I'm not sure what he means by that. That's Bob saying that. Okay, couldn't make out what you said there. Just went staticky. What was it, me? Oh, we lost Pixel. You still there?
I think you went to go finish making breakfast.
Uh-huh.
Where's my stencil at?
Oh, the card. Oh, everybody hoped for to get the Venom card.
I need to do something for when I get. I was thinking about doing something like Pixel did when I get 100 subscribers. I think right now I'm at 60.
Ah, cool. Yeah, everybody, go subscribe to John. Click on his name. Or
Yeah.
John, what's it? John Dillard, the game thing.
Yeah, it's John Dillard gaming the system.
If you're not sub, I'm at 93, and when I get to 100, I'm like, well, as you know, doing the commission for whomever wins my little contest in a special live stream.
Yeah, drawing Iceman.
Yeah. Oh, that'll be easy. I just pencil him, then I ink him, and then he's done. That's bad.
I apparently wasn't subbed to you, John. I am now.
Oh, what a jerk.
I know, right?
Well,
The hell, Pixel?
you got to be aware of that too. Sometimes YouTube unsubscribes people. Like I was telling people in my chat, I had last month at the beginning of September, I had like 4 unsubs, and I ended up having 2 dislikes or 2 dislikes on 2 different. A dislike on each 2 different videos, and then this month I had like 6 unsubs right on the 1st of October, and it was the same way. 1st of September, like 3 to 4 things, and I had a dislike on a video. I know it's not quite a pattern, but
was it an offensive video?
I don't think so. But my scripture stuff, so sometimes people get offended at stuff like that. You know
what? Sometimes people get really pissed hearing about the word.
And I'm like, okay, fine. You wanna hit a dislike. I got enough. I don't got a big channel. You're gonna hit a dislike. Tell me why.
I demand an explanation. Am I not charming enough?
I did that last month, and nothing. And of course, nobody responded. And for a full month, nothing happened. And then I did it again as soon as that came up. I did it again. It said, "Yeah, got a problem? Tell me what the problem is. Maybe we can fix it." And I haven't had a problem yet, so although it's only the 5th of the month. But I addressed the problem. Or tried to, anyways.
Yeah, Bob's got a good question for you, John. He's asking, how'd you learn to, or where'd you learn to put your lines for shading and shadowing? Like, how'd you learn to block in shadows and such?
To be honest, I copied my dad used to draw, and I would just copy his drawings, and it was kind of like one of the when you read the seesaw method, the method where you just kind of look at it and you just know. Like when people learn how to read words and they say when the word looks like this, that's the word. They don't read it phonetically. My dad was a scumbag back in the day. So he reformed, but he was a scumbag. And so he was in jail a lot. So he used to send me letters from jail with jailhouse drawings on the letters. And me, I was a little kid. My dad's missing, so I would draw the pictures that he would send me. All pathetic. And then he was okay. So I would just copy what he did. And then it was just all the light was always coming from the top, always from the top. So all the heavy lines were on the bottoms. But once I started learning and drawing more, I was like, okay, so once I figured out where to move that light source, that's when I started doing my shadows correctly. So I did just studying light sources, seeing what it does.
Yeah, it's a hard thing for me too. I understand like light sources and where they come from, but it's getting the balance between the shadowed portion and the way the light interacts with like folds and different areas, where it usually turns into a big mess for me a lot of times.
Yeah, I agree. I haven't been the best for shading. That's why for years I've tried to steer clear of it. But having to do everything myself for my comic book, tried to steer clear of it.
Although the comic book that you're working on is the Holy Warriors?
No. Well, that's going to be eventually something I'm doing. Manny just did that because I have a video of my first 7 major characters.
Oh, okay.
But my first one, which I do have out for digital download for $2.50 Canadian, is the Canadian Shield.
Oh, the one that he was remastering,
Yeah, the character.
fixing the colors on the Maple Leaf.
Yeah, or actually, he was fixing the design, well, and a little bit of colors because when my first critique, I don't think he heard me properly because he put the maple leaf on, had a shield on the back like there was supposed to be. He took it off and put the maple leaf in, just there. But there's supposed to be the maple leaf in the shield, like on the chest. He didn't hear me say about the maple leaf. He forgot the maple leaf in the shield shape. He just heard. Forgot. It's supposed to be. I guess he just heard. Like it's a maple leaf on the back or something like that.
You heard what he wanted to hear.
What was that?
I say he heard what he wanted to hear.
Yeah. Well,
and also for who asked the question? Was it Bob?
Yeah, it was Bob.
Yeah, there's he's 15. I don't know if he could buy it or not, but there's a DVD out there called Ren and Stimpy Adult Party Cartoon, and it's the artist that does Ren and Stimpy, John Crisfalucci, who was one of my biggest influences, and he has a section at the DVD at the end where he's talking all about his new studio, and there's a bunch of artists, and they're just talking for hours about how to draw their cartoons and how Crisfalucci was a taskmaster. He would say, I've seen this expression on a cartoon already. Change it, make up a new one. You know what I mean? And they would just try over and over again, and they end up drawing just fantastic caricatures of people. It's great, and I mean, there's hours of it on the DVD section.
Yeah, Ren and Stimpy is a bit gross, but some of their up close stuff is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
The detail on it and all that.
Speaking of that, let me show you something real quick. It was that was actually the influence for this panel of this comic book, because one of the girls is really hungry and they want to eat something, and the only thing they have is the that alien arm that fell off. So what I did was I did the normal cartoony looking panels, but the one panel where she's looking at the hand, I did it the Ren and Stimpy style, where you can see the alien hand all grotesque.
That's great.
Yeah, for sure.
And she's like, that's gross. You're gross. Get that away from me. So this is actually that hand that they left. They were trying to cook it, but the fire ignited some sort of a living thing.
The one really detailed oriented thing for that comic.
I love that show to death. My parents wouldn't let me watch it because I was too young.
Yeah.
You don't understand. I'm watching it for the artwork.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff like that is good art, which not sure whether that's a good thing or a bad thing.
But you know what? What was like that when it first started was SpongeBob SquarePants. Like the first season of SpongeBob, they had those real grotesque cutaways. There was actually some really good art in the first season of SpongeBob.
Yeah, especially like when he gets scared, or there was one like when he dried out inside of Sandy's little house kind of thing or something.
Yeah.
Really, really gnarly.
I'll take your word for it. I'm not really a big SpongeBob fan. SpongeBob needs to die.
Oh, man. Release the hate.
Okay, maybe he doesn't need to die. He just needs to become less annoying.
Josh Hughes out there talking crap. Hope Raven says kick Pixel.
Damn.
Yeah.
I didn't see Pope Raven say that.
Can you believe that Pope Raven did not vote for me? That's not even right. I know it was Pope Fire. Pope Fire didn't vote for me at the competition.
I voted for Art. Sorry.
I didn't vote for you either. Sorry.
Oh man.
Man, Art's piece is so good though. I was a little shocked actually how good the competition was between everybody. It was a fantastic, probably the best one so far, I think.
Yeah, well, they're always. I think they're always going to get better bit by bit.
Yeah.
Just like ours will. Any idea who's hosting it this week or next week, technically?
Chester is.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm cooking breakfast. I don't know if you can hear the sizzling in the background.
No.
Bob was asking what the tool was that John was using. I think it was just a circle template. I think that's what he was asking about.
Yes, that's all it is. It's
Yeah.
just a bunch of different size circles. I'm waiting to my next check, then I'm gonna get the oval template.
Yes.
You better watch out when I get that oval template.
I tried to get the thing oval templates and they were sold out when I went. I'm like, really, guys? Come on, Michaels, do better.
I know Michael's is awful. Every time I go there, it's just they don't have what I need. And this thing here, I had to order it in the mail because I went like 4 weeks in a row to get this lead holder, and they never had it. 2 different stores.
So I got the lead holder, but I can't find a sharpener to save my life. They never have them.
Oh, that's just like here, the Michaels here. After I seen that video with EVS and the supply video, I went looking for the Copics there. Didn't have them.
Yeah, do these look familiar from Ethan's video?
Yeah.
I saw that too.
I
I haven't been drawing for very long. I've only been drawing sequential art since March. So I'm trying to get into it because I used to, draw a lot of different things, but never actually draw sequential comic art. And then my buddy at work was like, "Hey, we got to do a comic book if you draw." And I started looking up videos. That's when I came across Richard, and that's when I kind of started getting into drawing again and back into comic books.
Yeah, I found Ethan. I think I talked about it on a different show, but I found Ethan through Trent Kanuga. Well, because I knew of Ethan, I knew of Trent back in the '90s because of Cyberfrog and Creed, and I went looking up some stuff, and I saw that Trent had become an artist for Blizzard Entertainment for a while, and so I started watching some of his concept art videos and things like that, and somehow EVS wound up getting suggested to me in that set. I'm like, oh yeah, Ethan. I wonder what he's been up to. I hadn't followed his career in 30 years or something like that, close to that.
I never knew who Ethan was, but I did know Trent Kanuga because I used to have Creed comic books.
Yeah, I've got some of the old. I don't have the Harris books, but I've got. I think it's Lightning Comics. Oh no, maybe it is Harris. I think it's Harris. I've got one of the original prints of Cyberfrog 1, but not the first version, like the reprint that when he got a lot bigger and blew up. Mm-hmm. But so I've got that, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna check it out. So I started watching the portfolio reviews, and the same thing. I saw that Michael's video, and I'm like, I've been pushing myself for a long time to do all this other work. My heart's telling me I need to get back into art. I'm gonna go. So I went to Michael's and spent like $50 on supplies because I couldn't get all the stuff that was there, and that's kind of how I got back into things. And then, through progression of watching what was happening to him, made contact with Mike Miller, and just things kind of blew up from there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I forget how I heard about EVS on somebody else's video about him being the conservative and all that. And I'm like, okay, I got to go check him out. And then he had mentioned Mike, and then he blew up from there for me too. Well, I've been trying to do my art stuff. I've been doing my art stuff for years, though.
Yeah, I never even heard of Mike until he actually started the Aloha Hour, and I think he was on EVS's show a couple of times. And I was like, oh, that's the first time I've ever heard of him.
Yeah, although I've got a bunch of his stuff.
Same here. I didn't realize it was him until after the fact.
Yep. That's the same thing with Ethan. That's what got me back into comics like a couple of years back when the Flash, there was a big poster, and it was the Flash Rebirth poster where he's pulling up his boots. And I was walking by a comic store by my house. I was like, that looks dope. Let me go inside and see. And I started buying, and that was an EVS picture. I was like, oh man, because for me, that's what always got me into the store was a cool poster on the outside. Let me go in and check.
But yeah, when I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to go through all my comic books for them. I've got like 2,000 to 3,000 comic books.
Wow.
They need to be sorted. So, anyways, because I moved just over a year ago, they got put in boxes. Now I got them in bins. I just want to sort them out so I know what's where and all that too. So, figure it'll make a great live stream. Couple of my subscribers, when I mentioned I had like that many comic books, like we want to see them. So I'm like, okay, and I decided at 1,000 subs,
Damn.
that's what I'll do.
This is the extent of my comic book collection right here.
Let's see.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's pitiful.
I have like I said, I have between 2,000 and 3,000, which is like almost like 10 banana boxes full. I got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bins, 4.5, 5.
Do you guys remember this book?
Oh yeah, Sabretooth.
This is the book that like I was like, oh my god, comic books can be art. When I got this book, my dad brought it from the comic book store next to our house, and I had only ever bought from that store like the Spider-Man trading cards. And I opened it up, and this was what I saw. And I was like, oh my! And this is the only comic artist, Mark Texeira, that I ever learned their name. Well, and him, or McFarlane and Lee, but that was the only I was like, oh my god, look at this page, look at this.
Yeah, Tex's work is crazy. His stuff on Punisher is really nuts too. This right here is my collection of books at the moment. I'm going to get rid of about half of this, I think, because I just don't need it. It's taking up space. But there's 9 long boxes here.
Mine takes up more space than that.
And then over here, got a bunch of
graphic novels.
Graphic novels and yeah, all kinds of stuff. And in fact, somewhere in here, I don't have it right now, but I've got a copy of Wizard that I was in back in the 90s.
Who doesn't have it? Sure. Joshua is like saying to you, John, you don't have enough comics to be part of Comicsgate. Kick you out.
Well, I mean, maybe. But I'll buy like a graphic novel. I should have about 30 more graphic novels here, but they're at various people's houses that never got returned.
Yeah, I've had that happen too. So some of my comic collection.
My World War Hulk, my Death of Superman, my Year One Batman, they're all gone.
Let's see. Bob saying he has a manga collection, like 1, 2, 3 or something. So.
But I mainly just keep books around that are really like stuff inside of them is really cool that I use a lot in my drawings.
Yeah.
Like this right here, design motifs of ancient Mexico. Like there's all these little stamps and patterns and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I use these a lot in a lot of my drawings.
Cool.
I have this book that was all tattoo flash, like old Sailor Jerry flash, and it was like I used to do tattoos, and this girl was like, "I'll give you this book if you give me a tattoo," and it's a big old huge textbook of just tattoo flash. The hell yeah.
I'm gonna turn the camera back on for a second here. So I picked this up the other day at Book Off. I think that's what it's called. It's a discount bookstore. This thing is badass.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing you show that on your thing about a week or so ago.
Yeah, John Romita. It's incredible, and it's like full size. I mean, there's my hand and on the page, so it's like full size pages of his work, and you can see like close up. You can see where they did the lettering and all that kind of stuff directly on the page, and like all the markup, and yeah,
Oh,
it's impressive.
Bob meant he has 120 comic books or thereabouts.
Right on.
Not that's the title of one of them or whatever.
Let's see, where's my book? I think it's upstairs right now. I've got Pat Labor somewhere around here.
Here we'll present.
Oh, this is kind of cool too. Batmanga.
Oh yeah, that would be fun to look at.
Man, it's all blurry. I don't know what. Come on, focus. It's not focusing. Anyway, yeah, you read it back to front too. It's been translated into English, but it's literally Japanese. I wonder. Hold on. Let's see what's going on here. That's not any better. Oh well. Must be too dark in here.
Well, you may not be able to read it, but you can pick up enough of it. You can make out stuff. It's not as blurry as Mike's.
Yeah, it looks really bad on my screen, but yeah, this is it's really cool to see the whole Japanese interpretation of it. And this is like a dude made out of rubber or something, or some kind of suit, and he can like bounce around everywhere, and so Batman can't grab him because he keeps slipping out of his hands and stuff.
Looks like it's slightly based off of the old Adam West series.
It definitely has the same suit, yeah, for sure. It's got that vibe. I'm not sure when this was made, actually. I'll have to do some more research into it, but that's a fun read. And then if you're a fan of stuff like Ghost in the Shell and things like that, I picked this up. This is from Japan. Intron Depot, which is a series of collections from Masamune Shirow, the guy that created Ghost in the Shell and a bunch of stuff. And he's got multiple copies, like different editions with all of his work in it. But some of it's not safe for your channel, probably. But I mean, there's some really amazing mech designs and just a bunch of inspirational stuff in here. He's a really good artist.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that is good.
Let's see. Yeah, this is all mostly fantasy type related stuff. And then the original one actually has stuff from like Appleseed and like Tank Police. And there's one from Appleseed.
Cool. Joshua was asking, where's your Raven comics, Pixel? Does Raven actually?
Raven Comics right here.
Does Raven actually have her own comic book? The only place I've ever seen her is Teen Titans. No, I know she has one or two. She had a limited series, a 6-issue limited series, like a year or so ago.
Yeah, I don't have any of those. I don't think I even have Teen Titans, to be honest. I think I have a few Titans books. I have some old school Titan books, but I don't even think Raven was part of that.
I'm not sure when she became part of the Titans. Did
you guys ever read this one?
Which one's that?
The Sam Keith Batman Secrets?
Don't think so.
This one has some really crazy artwork in it. I love it. Get this open.
I really like Sam Keith's work. When they when he reissued all of the backs through IDW, I got a reissue of it.
This is kind of like a precursor to the Batman White Knight, because this one in this series, the Joker sets up Batman to catch him on film, beating him up. But he has Harley Quinn dressed up as the Joker, and the Joker dresses up as Batman, and he starts beating the hell out of her. And he films it so that he could try to get Batman on the news.
That's an awesome concept. I hadn't heard about that one.
It ends up working for a while, but
Okay, see ya, Bob. Have a great day. Have a great day sleeping. You're nighttime now, so
later, Bob.
or eating whatever you're doing. It's like 8 o'clock where he is, so p.m. Trying to keep everybody's time zone straight is hard.
Yeah, that's the thing. My work really interferes with a lot of this. Like I would love to, hang out and draw and do all kinds of stuff, but me working at night, right when every normal person is kind of getting out of work and is able to do things. That's what I'm headed in.
Yeah. I have a hard time with Mike's Aloha Hour. I'd like to come in and watch it more, but it's sometimes starting at like 1 a.m. for me. So it's like, I want to go to sleep.
Yeah, I see that pop up when I'm driving around. I get to tune in, just press it and watch that, but I don't get to watch anybody else's because I'm sleeping during the daytime.
Although the last couple nights I've been up doing my own stuff at that time.
Which is probably a better use of your time, just working on your own stuff.
Yeah. Well, especially, I decided to try and do my live drawing stream at like about 10, which is my time.
Mm-hmm.
Because Manny's getting home. Hopefully he can be my co-host more nights than not. And he's been home for about an hour at that point. So, it gives something. It brings in a lot more people too, it seems, having the second person on, talk to and all that. Because I got a whole lot of watching last night, and so, and then of course, Drawn and Quarter did me great too. I got like 15 subs that night. So that was cool.
Awesome. That's exactly what I was hoping was going to happen for people.
And I got like probably 5 of them beforehand because I was, as you know, in Mike's chat, pounding it out. It's on this channel. It's on this channel. All throughout, and a few people subbed to me during Mike's during the Pro Edition.
That's what I was trying to explain to Manny, was that you can't just like ask one time if you could be on the show and hopefully you get on. You gotta ask and ask and ask. There's they got a lot of things going on. They got campaigns, they got a lot of fans, a lot of mail, a lot of fan art being delivered. You got to kind of be in their ear more than you're comfortable with.
Yeah, you got to promote yourself, the heck of yourself, out of yourself.
Yeah. I know that, just doing, people that like comic books in general are not that outgoing. They're really reclusive. But you got to kind of just really promote yourself, or else, because nobody else is going to promote you. So.
Yeah. It's like when I heard about Nasser, how Nasser bugged the heck out of EVS. I'm like, okay, I could do that. I can't afford the super chats, unfortunately.
That's what I had to do. I actually put a budget aside. I talked about it on my channel, because my channel, I talk about how to break into the system by any means necessary. And I had set aside a budget of $20 that week to harass with super chats. So I was just sending out $2 super chats.
Oh, no problem, Tank. Tank saying sorry about not being able to get in last night. You want to come in now, Tank? for a bit. Go on. Peace says yes. I'll just go do stuff. But yeah, you gotta promote the stink out of yourself. You know, you gotta be willing to engage to all these people in some way, shape, or form, so they end up knowing who you are. You know, like I said, Mike knows the Cross Comics name. He knows I'm from Canada. So
Yeah, like up until the actual show started, they still didn't know who I was. They thought I was a guy named John Piner.
yeah. Well, there's another guy in the chats a lot called
Yeah,
John
I
Pine.
know.
So it's like it's easy to mix up some names, you know, especially when they're close. I know Dillard's not close to Piner, but you know the John.
Yeah. Oh, they even still get your name mixed up sometimes too. Like when they're talking about, yeah, the fan came on and kicked our butts. And what was his name again? I'm sitting there in chat. Dillard. Dillard.
That's the thing. People hear my name because the thing is, I'm Mexican, and I look really Mexican. And people look at my name because it has the last name of the department store, and it doesn't match with my face, so they always want to call me something different. They want to call me like Mendez or something. I don't know.
I had an next door neighbor named Dillard, so as soon as you mentioned your name, it stuck.
Nice.
Yeah.
To me, it's unusual. So, okay, I just sent Tank a link, so he should be in a sec. For a few minutes.
What was your neighbor's name? Because I got family that lives up there, up north. But they're in the San Jose, Madera area.
Okay. Yeah, she was in Madera. Let me see. I don't know because we never called her by her first name. I can't remember what her first name is. We always called her Mammer. Marion, I think was her first name.
Mm.
And then she had a daughter named Sarah and a son Kurt. He played in a band quite a bit.
Nah, it's probably not relation.
Gotcha.
I was kind of hoping it would be though.
Yeah, it would definitely be neat. Yeah. Suddenly, there's a connection more than whatever.
And me and Pixel, we're practically twins.
Exactly. That's funny about the voice thing from earlier, though. I can't imagine. I always think my voice is pretty high. I don't really think of it being because yours sounds deep to me.
That's what people say. No, because I'm telling my buddy I'm gonna do the podcast with, I'm telling him to adjust my levels because my voice is too high. And he's like, no, you have a deeper voice. I'm like, no, I don't. I have a high voice.
Yeah. I can't believe I admit, I don't know. Sometimes just, I think it's a space out thing because I know your voices are distinctly different. You know, I don't know why I'm earlier. It's like, okay, yeah, who is this again? I guess for me it was more. Yeah, I know the voices are distinctly different, but which distinctly different voice goes with which person again?
Ah, okay. Yeah.
You know, especially getting used to voices. You know, I've heard Pixel talking like 2 or 3 times now over this, and don't. I was on the same show that you won for the fan edition, but I don't remember you talking a lot on it. So.
Because I came on and then my wife was telling me, don't trash talk. Don't trash talk. You don't know these people. Don't trash talk.
That's part of the whole thing.
Right. That's why I went on the then I was like, when I went on with the pro edition, I was like, I'm just gonna trash talk these people
Yeah,
because
you were on your game during pro. That was so damn funny.
I ain't trying to save these people's feelings.
You were totally on brand too. That was the best part. You're like, I am the official fan artist for comics. Like, just that whole thing. Holy crap!
But do you remember that Aloha hour that Ethan came on where he was telling Mike, you need to do the Game of Thrones?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was listening to, and I was like, you know what? That's true. I need to like brand myself as something. That's when I started the next day. I started calling myself the official Comicsgate fan artist because that's all I had going for me. So. And that's when I heard you on the Aloha Hour talking about the fan edition. I was like, what kind of a sham? What kind of a illegitimate contest are you going to be running if you don't have the number one fan artist, John Dillard, on your show?
Oh, that's great. See, it works out. Works out well.
You gotta game that system.
Again with the brand. Gotta pull that tagline out there, man.
Stay on brand. Are you familiar with the show where a bunch of guys go on stage and they play D&D?
Oh, like the Penny Arcade guys, or are you talking about
Penny Arcade? The Penny Arcade guys.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. I watch pretty much all of the stuff from PAX for the Acquisition Incorporated stuff, but I don't really watch most of the B Team stuff just because it's a little too much.
Yeah, I'm not that big of a fan
C
of
Team.
Omen.
Sorry, C Team.
Yeah, the C Team, the Omen where he runs the game.
Yeah. I haven't really watched a lot of those, but I think the only one I haven't seen now for the main campaign is the one that was just a week ago or 2 weeks ago, something like that.
Yeah. Oh, it was great. I watched it. Jim Dark Magic came out with a brand new look too. He has a beard and he has a whole costume and everything.
Didn't he have a cod piece or something too?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I got to go check that out. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, it's great. I was like, I didn't even realize that I was waiting all year to see that.
Tank, you still having technical difficulties there? The link's in your Twitter. I DM'd you.
It's like 11:30, and I just finished my breakfast. Good times.
What are you cooking?
I finished eating, but it was just eggs, hash brown, like a sausage patty, some toast. Nothing crazy.
That's a lot of breakfast.
I'm a big fat dude. Nah. Yeah, I wanted something different because I didn't want to go out and get like fast food or something. And figured I'd make something here.
And I only get to eat like eggs and meat because I got the diabetes, so I'm not able to have any kind of like carbs or sugar.
Oh.
So I get like just big sausages and a lot of eggs.
Yeah, I'm actually switching over to keto pretty soon to start dropping weight again. But I just it's hard to get away from rice and potatoes sometimes.
Yeah. That's my wife's like, oh, you're on low carb. Now I can be on low carb with you. I don't want this. I don't want none of it.
I don't want none of it. You can have it all.
Mm. All I want is my McDonald's breakfast sandwiches.
But at least it's like sausages and stuff like that. It could be a lot worse, you know.
Yeah. I'm glad I don't have to eat like salads and tomatoes.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Could be salads and tomatoes.
Hey, so any of you guys watch Marmaduke's channel?
No, I'm not sure who that is. Okay.
I don't know if you remember, there was an episode of Diversity in Comics where he was talking about, he's like, he got kicked out of somebody's Twitter or locked out, and he was like, it's like I gotta go into these rooms with a made up name, something stupid like #1 Marmaduke fan, just to get access to these creators. And the next day, a guy showed up with the name #1 Marmaduke fan in the in the chat, and he actually had a channel. He's actually really good. He's like I think he's studying to be an art historian, and he has a lot of videos. He has a couple hundred videos on his channel. And they're really informative, but a little dry. Like sometimes he'll start talking, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. This is too smart for me. But he invited me to be on his channel later, so I'm gonna go do that to advertise my book.
Cool. Yeah, promote. As they say.
But to be honest, like I don't really know who the writer is, and I've never actually spoken to him in person or even on the phone. And he's kind of like flaking out on the whole pushing for the promotion thing. So now I'm like, I don't know what I want to do about it.
Well, if he doesn't want to be part of the promotion, fine. Well, just make sure it's your book or whatever, right? You're just paying him, so.
No, we're doing a collaboration.
Okay, well. They say, well, if you don't help out with the promotion, I get a bigger piece of that portion of the pie.
Yeah.
Because you're doing that much more work at that point, You're making sure the books sell, it's only fair.
Yeah, I was telling him, hey, you want to come on I'm doing the Marmaduke, and he has a good amount of followers. Marmaduke has about like 900, almost 1,000 followers on YouTube, and I was like, hey, you want to come on the Marmaduke show with me, and we're gonna do an interview? And he's like, oh, I'm going to Comic-Con in New York. I'm like, oh, I guess so.
Well,
are you gonna be promoting while you're there? And he's like, maybe. What?
Do you not want your book to sell, make money?
Like I thought you wanted to do this for real.
Oh wow. Ethan just posted a picture about 20 minutes ago of a Salamandroid work in progress. Holy crap, the detail in those inks.
Yeah, he frustrates me. Did you see that picture he posted with Salamandroid poking in the room while Frog and Heather Swain are watching TV or something? Oh my god, I would have not only would I have never thought to have drawn from that perspective, but the amount of information on that page is just mind blowing.
Yeah, you should see this page, man. It's kind of crazy.
It's on Twitter?
Yeah, it's on Twitter. Actually, I can just send you the link to it probably.
I can get on Twitter real quick.
I'm just bringing it up now, so. Oh.
What's up, Tank?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good. Yourself?
I'm a little sick, but I'll live. I got to get this commission finished so I can move on to bigger and better things.
Oh, damn, this Salamandroid.
Right.
Wow.
There it is. Let's see. Left it on me for a sec.
Why is that stinger? Oh, this must be that double page spread he was talking about.
Yeah.
There's Salamandroid.
Yeah, right click on that cross and then choose to open the image in a new window and you can zoom in on it.
Okay, it's just saying save.
What about copy image location? Do you have that?
Yeah.
Okay, copy image location.
Okay.
And then just paste that into your address bar there.
Okay.
Okay, now you can zoom in on
Ooh,
it.
definitely big.
Yeah. Like look around the neckline area. I mean, all the cross hatching and stuff that he's done around the armor and stuff. It's nuts. But then you get down a little bit further down, like into his, I think it's his chest. You can see all of the skin texture and stuff he did. It's incredible.
What book are you doing, John? Eagle wants to know.
Oh, I'm doing Cosmonaut. It's a story of 3 girls lost in space trying to find their way home.
Okay, so
You can actually read the story so far on my Facebook page. It's John Dillard Gaming the System on Facebook. And I have, if you go to the album section, it has the from first page all the way to this page.
but doesn't have that page yet.
Well, maybe if I work a little faster.
It's like Spaceballs. He can fast forward through the movie.
It has all the pages up to the one before that page.
I got future content on my page.
What's this? This is now. Now?
I was like, well, when can I see now? You just missed it.
When? Just now. Gosh, there's so many people that haven't seen that movie. I feel bad for them.
I know.
Yeah, that is a good movie, Spaceballs. It's a good parody.
My wife's one of those people that hasn't seen anything at all. It's just frustrating to no end.
Okay, let's see. Oh man, that's a bummer. I have to take down a campaign. Okay.
And what happened to the handyman? I got a refund for the handyman, and I guess the campaign, like something happened to it.
Yeah, so he backed out. He was on John Malin's show talking about the campaign, and he only had 1 or 2 days left, and it wasn't going to make it. And he decided that the best thing to do at that point was just to go ahead and bow out, and then retool the campaign some, finish up some more pages of it, and then come back stronger once he's got a better presence in the community.
Okay.
Okay, Joshua Hughes wants to ask a question that we all have to answer, including Tank. Which of you likes Raven more than Starfire?
I mean, I think I like Raven more than Starfire, just because Raven's kind of like, she's more, to me, more comic booky, more a brooding, angsty teenager, a lot of attitude, and dark and dramatic, and I like that stuff more than the happy-go-lucky stuff.
I'd probably like them about equally. I haven't read enough of both of them to like one more than the other.
Well, I haven't read any of them.
No.
I just like them from the TV show.
People.
That's what I was talking about the other day on my channel. I was like, I don't get it, because the kids, they don't see the big superheroes that I see as superheroes. Like, to them, the biggest stars are Beast Boy, Cyborg, Starfire, Raven, Robin.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? And they put those on a higher tier than Batman, Superman.
Yeah.
Well, I guess.
So Tank, you still there? Who do you like more, Starfire or Raven? Is he still there? He's still there. Tank, we can't hear you. If you're talking.
He might have to step away. I don't know.
Uh-huh. Well, we'll have to wait for Tank, Josh. I'm not sure whether Pixel answered who he liked more.
I've got a thing for orange girls. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just that whole exotic feel.
Yeah. Hey guys, I got to drop real quick. I got a call coming in.
Okay.
If I had my oval tool, I could actually do my dialogue balloons a lot nicer. I got a freehand.
Or you could scan it all and do it digitally.
I'm not that fancy. No, I got the thing is I don't want to buy the Photoshop or what is the other one? The
Clip art.
Clip Art Studio. But the thing is, like, I downloaded this other program called Krita, and it has all the functions. It's almost kind of like an Inkscape, but it's one of those programs. But the thing is, it doesn't have any tutorials on YouTube on how to use it because it's not one of the famous ones. So I can't really figure out how to do that kind of stuff yet.
Oh, definitely not good.
Yeah, and I'm comfortable working by hand.
Yeah. I know what you mean. I just figured I'd throw it out there. I know it really helped for when I did my. I used Magna, which is before Clip Art, but it's the same program basically.
Yeah.
And I like using it for doing that stuff, the dialogue balloons. Then again, I'm one person doing my whole stuff, so well, you are too, I think you said. Or
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I sent it to that guy, and because I was on this Facebook group called Comic Artists Seeking Collaborators or something, and
yeah, I think.
Yeah, the guy hit me up and he was like, "Yeah, I can do that." And I was like, "Okay, I'll do all the drawings and all that stuff, but I need somebody that knows how to actually do everything else because I don't know how to do any of it." And he's like, "Yeah, I know how to do all that stuff." So I kind of sent him just the drawings, and he scanned them in, or I scanned them in, but he cleaned them up and put the dialogue balloons and all that. I got to figure that stuff out so I don't have to rely on other people.
Pope Raven's here. Kick Pixel. He kicked himself. Can't kick somebody who's not here. And anybody who's listening who's not yet subscribed, please subscribe and go over to John Dillard's channel and subscribe to him. And Pixel's channel too, if you're not subscribed to Pixel. But probably most of you are. So
Who isn't subscribed to Pixel?
lots of people. He's got between 100 and 200 subs, so it's more than us, but maybe more than us. Maybe more than us combined, but
that's a lot more than me. I'll get there.
Yeah. How long have you been doing this? The YouTube thing?
Let's see. I've been doing YouTube since I think since March or April.
Oh wow. That's one thing you got to do is start getting out there promoting yourself a lot. Maybe what we can do is you got to work during that time, don't you?
Yeah.
I was going to suggest you hosting it in a couple weeks, if you could. I'm not sure whether you got the equipment to or not for the fan one.
I mean, I'm sure I have I have a laptop, I have a camera, I got a microphone, but the thing is, like, yeah, I can't really take off work that often.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially since that's why I started my channel in April, but then in June, we had our baby. So then I was like, I had to put a stop on all that for a while.
Yeah. I don't know what color his eyes are. offhand, so I'm just going to put it in color.
Are you drawing Rick?
Me? No, this is one of my supporting casts for my I forget which character offhand. His name's Lynn Sharp.
Is that a self-insert character?
No. Oh, you thinking it just looks a bit like me?
Yeah.
Okay, Pope Raven. We should try to get John Dillard to join us, join our cult of Raven. He's one of us.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. I just had to
Okay.
restart my phone.
Okay. So they're wondering, who do you
Go
like
for it.
more, Starfire or Raven?
I always was a little more inclined to Starfire than Raven, but it's kind of like trying to and it's kind of like trying to pick your favorite color of M&M, though. Honestly, it's like, why can I just have them both? Besides, I'm all Team Cyborg anyways.
I was messing with them a few weeks ago. Kid Flash. Kid Flash is the best. I'll be Pope Kid Flash.
Now, Kid Flash is a cardinal at best. We all know that the fast Pope is Flash Pope.
Yeah. Well, I'm just talking for the Titans.
I just got that Cardinal reference right now.
Dude,
I ain't too-
Pixel.
I ain't too quick with the
Pixel.
smarts.
That cyber tug you colored, man. Dude.
Oh, that was great, huh?
Oh, it is really good. It is really, really good. I worked as an art director in Hollywood for nearly a decade, and the way you were working, your work path, labeling all your layers, using reference in the picture, but just for reference, that's pro level technique right there. You don't see a lot of comic colorists do that because they're comic colorists, and I'm not knocking them at all, but a lot of these guys they miss the the real like big boy approach.
It sounds to me like you're knocking comic colorists.
No, I don't want to knock comic colorists because I love comic colorists and they're really good, but it's not big leagues. Comics isn't big leagues. We need to make it big leagues, but it's not big leagues.
No, I was watching Pixel work, and he does work he works very tidily. Like, what would you call it? He does everything in a workman-like manner.
Well, yeah, when I had a stable of artists working under me, that's what I demanded in my studio. I wanted to see every layer labeled. I don't want stuff getting lost. I want to see reference. I want to see active use of reference, not just pull it out of your butt. We're doing this for money. This is going to go on film. This is going to some celebrity or something. We were small, like one of those subcontracted studios.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that never get credit.
Oh, we got John Hughes saying, I think this is more to you, Tank, about your thing. It's more like comparing which you like better, M&M's, Raven, or chocolate-covered poop, Starfire. But I respect your opinion.
Well played, sir. Well played.
Oh.
I'm going to attempt to do a live cast later today.
About what time?
Let's see here. It's 11:47 my time now. I think I'll try to do it around 4 p.m. my time. That's midnight UTC for anybody in Britain.
Well, Bob might. Well, no, Bob couldn't join you. Bob will be asleep. That's 1 a.m. his time. That's 7 my time, and I won't even be home.
I dig it. It's going to be a test run. I'm still getting. This is my first time ever doing this, so I got to get used to the interface and getting all the mess up out of the way. I'm probably not even going to re-upload it when it's done. This is just going to be, like I said, a practice run.
If you're doing a live one, it automatically uploads for you. You can delete it, but
that's what I'll be doing. This will not be for the record. But I'm also coming up with fun topics so that I can invite people on and we can have a real discussion on some stuff and come to finding solutions, because that's one of my favorite games to play is find the solution.
Oh, what are you doing tomorrow night, Saturday night?
Aside from working, nothing.
Oh, I was going to see whether you want to get on here for a Slave Leia draw between it'll be, well, anybody who's an artist who's coming on will be drawing it except for me. I've got to do my regular live drawing of the night, which will be Spawn.
I'm down. I'll join in for a Slave Leia or a Spawn or whatever.
Manny, who was on last night, was saying about doing a draw off of Slave Leia. So I'm down for it. I might end up starting a bit late, do a real mundane.
What he was saying was that because he was not on the first fan drawn and quartered, that's the only reason that I won.
Ooh.
Manny might be here. That sometimes he listens, he says. So, although we're only down to 2 viewers, so that might be Pope Raven and Joshua.
Well, good. It's an informal hangout then.
Oh, we got 3. Oh, maybe he just heard your name and came in.
Uh-oh. Ducks rocks.
But yeah, I'm trying to do a whole October thing for spooky, well, somewhat spooky or whatever. One of my fans suggested it, or one of my subs suggested it, so I've got all my days planned out for October for my live drawings.
That's really good. I have to finish days 4 and 5 of Inktober. I was working on a commission all day yesterday. My theme has been 2065 Retribution so that I can get more artwork out there to plug my stuff, because I really want to launch the Indiegogo either at the end of this month or sometime next month.
What are you working on?
I am working on a cyberpunk tale like no other. Dun, dun, dun.
And last night was Venom in lieu of the movie.
Oh, that's cool.
So there is Venom. And this is available for anybody for $25 Canadian.
Canadian.
Yeah. So that for you Americans, that's probably like $20.
Is that like $6?
No,
yeah, but Americans.
I give you a loony and a toonie.
Americans better act now, because that'll soon be 50 US.
The Pope Fire is going to be on John Delarose's channel in a few minutes. So I'm going to go troll her. See you later. Hail, Raven. That was Joshua. Okay, see ya, Josh.
Later, Raven.
No, that was Joshua.
Oh, okay.
Guess he's part of the cult of Raven. You've got the cult of Starfire, now you got the cult of Raven.
I would dare say it's the papacy of Starfire and the orthodoxy of Raven.
I like cult better.
Well, isn't every religion when it gets started a cult?
Yeah,
Let's just be
possibly.
honest.
Yeah.
There was once this cult of people that just wanted to be good and worship one god, and they had to hide underground in the sewers and use code to communicate to each other.
Yeah. Now it's like one of the main religions of the day.
Yeah, it's true.
And it was because the two main religions of the day that they were around in didn't like them. Although one was an off part of the other.
Well, and what's really funny is that around the time that Christianity is growing is when when the Romans are growing their empire, the Celtic empire is retracting. It's shrinking, and that's because of corruption within the Druid oligarchy.
Yeah.
Because they were everything. They were the historians, they were the accountants, they were the judges, they were the central government, all the kings and whatnot. And the Church of Paul, or as we call it, the Catholic Church, came in and filled that gap
Yeah.
quite handily.
Would the Catholic Church be the Church of Paul? I think it would be more the Church of Peter.
Oh no, it is very much the Church of Paul.
Just because they consider Peter the first pope and all that. That's why.
Yeah, Peter's the first pope, but it's Paul's doctrine they're running off of.
I wouldn't say they're running off Paul's doctrine, but that's another discussion, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, absolutely. I love to have these discussions. I'll have to have you on my show, and we can have such a wonderful discussion where we can celebrate religion and we can talk about the good things that having a belief in something greater makes humanity grow.
Yeah. And I'm not well versed in all my history of stuff. I'll admit that, I know bits and pieces, I know my Bible fairly well, so I wouldn't say I know one. I obviously don't know 100%, not even close.
Well, one of the guys who helped, there's two other guys who helped me develop 2065 Retribution. That's Phil Harsman and Jeff Woodruff. Jeff Woodruff is currently in his postgraduate studies. He's an historian. He specializes in Christian history and United States history.
Oh, cool. I really like learning a lot of history, especially I like to, like I said, I know a fair amount. I'm on my Bible fairly amount, but I like learning the culture, history of the time and all that because it brings a lot more into perspective, meanings of certain things, in my opinion.
Oh yeah. We teach history all wrong around here. It's like, oh, it's dates and memes. When in fact it should be cause and effect that we should be teaching.
Yeah, well, that's part of it, but I mean, like the culture. It's like there's one spot, one of the teachings Christ is teaching, about going the extra mile for whomever, but he didn't mean it towards you might think your brother asked you to go or friend or whatever asked you to go an extra mile. In Roman days, in that time, Roman officers walking by, going the opposite direction to you, could by law tell you to put down your stuff or whatever and get you to carry their stuff a mile out of your way in the opposite direction.
True.
And Christ was saying, instead of just going that 1 mile that's required by law, show love and go 2 miles. And, this is for somebody you hate, or most of them would hate,
Yeah.
So it's like a real radical love. So.
It's one of the philosophies I can really get behind. I try to treat my enemies with ultimate kindness.
Yeah. So it's just like, oh, I'm not sure. That puts that whole scripture to me in a way different light than, before I heard that information. Like I said, before I heard of it, I thought, oh, go the extra mile for, your buddy, your friend, yeah. Who can't go the extra mile for your buddy or friend, even when you don't feel like it? But what were you going to say?
Oh, I was going to say, that and, go ahead. I try to go the extra mile for people I see doing good things like Pope's Starfire, Pope Fire,
Yeah.
And her charity. And I was like, you know what? This needs to be rewarded. We need to reward behavior like this.
Yeah. Yeah. And who can't go the extra mile for stuff like that? But to go the extra mile for somebody that you probably despise or hate, to say it nicely, that's just radical. And more Christians, I say, need to be doing it. We don't do it as much as we should.
Yes. My thing is, I see a lot of people that believe in God and a lot of people that believe in Scripture, but I see so few Christians these days.
Yeah. They forget that it's all about love. Well, it's all about Christ, but Christ commands us to love and show love.
It's to emulate Christ. It's to be Christ-like, to be Christian. The etymology of the word.
Yeah.
Just like with the Hindus and their Krishna, to be Krishna-like.
Yeah. Heck, I know the word Christian was first meant to be like an offensive name towards Christians. They used it to mock them, but the Christians took it and embraced it.
Oh yeah, that's one thing I like to tell people. I'm like, don't ridge against your enemy's symbols and idols and stuff. Take them, make them your own, and you'll defeat your enemy from within.
Yeah. It's sort of like what we're doing just with the Comicsgate name. It's like, they meant it for ill, and we've taken it to.
And it works because it's not Comicsgate, the scandal. It's comics gatekeeping.
Yeah, in a good way.
Yeah, well, and they're gatekeeping in a bad way, and we're calling attention to that gatekeeping. We don't want any gatekeeping. We're a meritocracy over here. If you got the chops, if you think you've got the nerve to cut it in a professional industry, then come on aboard. But warning, it's not playtime, kiddies. This isn't the playground. This isn't high school. This isn't, sycophantic fan groups. This is a customer base that is fickle and is 20 years tired of nonsense.
Yeah, for sure.
I got out of comics in 97, shortly after my mom died. Hold on, sorry.
No problem.
Got a plane going overhead. When I got out of comics in 97, I didn't stop reading comic books. I just stopped reading mainstream comics, which I included Image and Image and Dark Horse into that at the time. And I just went to Heavy Metal magazine. That's almost all I read. Heavy Metal magazine or small indie or underground comics I could get my hands on at comic shows.
Yeah. Unfortunately for me, it's been money. I do read a lot of, not so much anymore. I used to get my comics every week online and read them faithfully. Now it's like, I don't care.
These days it's a money issue for me. 4 years ago, we had a major family emergency. And my wife went from having a house and hundreds of thousands of dollars in the bank to being completely broke.
Oh, that sounds like a medical emergency.
It was a government-related emergency. She had a neighbor who had made 3 false claims to Department of Child Family Services in California about her. And 3 false claims, even if they're completely unsubstantiated, with all these claims were completely unsubstantiated and found to be false. they opened an investigation. And there was a corruption inside of that system that is so nasty. There's nepotism, crony capitalism. They made her jump through hoops. They were trying to take her kids, and there was, like I said, nothing was substantiated.
Yeah. I get
And
what
she's
the claims that an investigation has to be, made, but let's keep it civil or whatever.
well, yeah. My two daughters had to come live with me for a little bit. She had 3 sons that got put into the system. She got them back real quick because she's something else.
Yeah.
It's a crazy story. We were divorced at the time. We're back together.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Right.
No, we grew up in our nearly 10 years apart. We grew up and stopped just bickering with each other over the slightest nonsense.
Yeah, the stupid things that don't really matter.
Then we had another kid. She's a year and a half old. She's a year and a half old now, and I have a Brady Bunch. I am not helping Irish stereotypes, by the way.
I don't think most people would think you're Irish. They don't really have the accent, you know what I mean?
No, but I'm about as Irish as it gets, man. I've got a fun genealogy.
Yeah.
It goes back to Irish mythology, but then again, 90% of Irish genealogies go back to mythology.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I think my heritage is Scottish, with a name like Piper. But then again, it might be German because I heard the name Piper came from German, but most people associate Piper with the bagpipes.
Yeah, Piper's in an Anglo word. That's a word from the British Isles.
Huh.
So it hits somewhere there in the British Isles.
Because I've looked up the word Piper before, or was it just bagpipes? I'm not sure. I forget. It's been a while. I like knowing that stuff, but it matters, but it doesn't matter.
Which, speaking of, Duggan family, it's really funny because there's a guy out there, Andy Duggan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard he's decidedly anti-Comicsgate.
Yeah.
That cracks me up. And I'll tell you why. Because Andy has this relative of his, an ancestor, really. His name is Matthew Duggan, Major Matthew Duggan, Tennessee Regulars, Confederate Army. The Duggans of Tennessee were slave owners. So somebody has some unaddressed white guilt. My family, my side of the Duggan family, moved to Mexico in 1821. 2 years later, that part of Mexico would be known as Littlefield, Texas.
Huh.
We were not happy about this because Texas became Texas because they wanted slaves, and it was illegal to own slaves in Mexico, which is why my family moved to Mexico. We were tired of that nonsense.
Yeah.
And by the time we were there, we're like, yeah, we're stuck. This is the frontier, man. 1821. This is it.
Yeah.
This is West.
Well, that's cool history. Well, sort of. Oh, except for the slave part, of course. But it's part of history. You can't deny history.
Well, it's funny. Our family had a schism over the subject of slavery, and the Duggans, who decided to stay back over there in the East, in South Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia area, they were pro-slavery. And that side of the family we don't even talk to them. They're not invited to family reunions or anything.
Yeah.
You'd think after, after nearly 200 years, we'd be over this.
Yeah.
But no.
Well, thing is, you're not invited to your family reunions, and you're not invited to their family reunions.
Good. I don't want to go.
Well, I'm assuming they have family reunions too. It's not everything something everybody does, right?
So, if Andy Duggan feels so guilty about what's happening to people of color and marginalized people in this country, maybe he should open up his paycheck, his wallet, and just pay out some reparations and get it over with. And stop dramatizing his white guilt.
Yeah. It's like, hello, there was diversity in comics before diversity came around. This whole thing was the thing. You got green people as major characters. I think that's diversity. Green people don't even exist.
I tell these young writers that, that if they want to represent, the LGBTQIA plus, I just call it Q plus, the Q plus crowd. If they really want to represent the Q plus crowd, they need to go back and read the original run of Love and Rockets, which is about lesbians living in San Francisco, and it was a slice of life. And it wasn't like, oh, here, accept us. If you don't accept us, you're a bigot. It was about the struggles of being accepted and just being a human being and trying to work and live in every day. And it wasn't shoving a narrative down my throat. It was showing me a culture that I didn't know about.
Yeah.
And I have to admit, before I read Love and Rockets, I was a little bigoted. I come from a very conservative family.
Yeah. Well,
and it opened my eyes. I was like, wow, this isn't what all the propaganda I heard on my side of the fence is, and gave me another point of view. And it's like, oh, well, you know what? It changed my point of view. I just want people to do you as best you can. And if you treat others better than you treat yourself, you might be on the path to being an apex human being.
Yeah. My thing is, I'm against that lifestyle and all that. I disagree with it. But, I'm going to show you love and respect that you deserve as a human being. Don't force me to like your lifestyle. You don't like something about me. I can't force you to like what you don't like about me.
Yes, there is a difference between tolerance and acceptance. And I can tolerate most things I cannot accept.
Yeah.
And if I don't accept it, I'll probably keep my opinion to myself and just tolerate it.
Yeah, unless you ask me, but if as I've heard, don't ask a question you don't want the answer to.
Yeah, I'm in here. What's up? Hold on, my wife's calling me.
Just let me.
Oh, that was okay. That wasn't you, Tank, or?
Oh no, I turned my mic off.
Oh, okay.
It's raining where I'm at, so if I had open mic, it'd just be a hot mic.
Yeah, I've heard the rain in the background.
It's gorgeous. I love it. I've got a little spot out on the back porch where I get my work done. It's dry. I enjoy the weather. I love the cold. I am Jia Baishong. It's Chinese. It means armored white bear. It's my kung fu nickname.
What was that? How's that said again?
Jia Baishong.
Jia Baishong?
Yeah, it's correct. Jia Baishong.
Jia Baishong.
It means armored white bear. You ever seen Golden Compass?
No. I've wanted to.
Even though it has an atheist narrative, which honestly I don't think is as strong as people say it is. I think it's just a good, fun story. I think the atheist narrative in Golden Compass is weaker than the Christian narrative in the Chronicles of Narnia. So if the Christian narrative in Chronicles of Narnia doesn't stick out to you, then the atheist narrative in Golden Compass won't stick out. It's just a good, fun story. I thoroughly enjoyed it, but there's these polar bear people.
Yeah, I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I haven't seen the whole thing. So
yeah, I got that nickname when I got my 4th degree, black belt.
Cool.
Sorry about that, guys.
No problem.
My wife was hollering at me to go to bed. She's like, "You have an interview with Marmaduke at 6:00."
Oh, isn't that now or?
It's today, later on today.
Oh, I thought because it's like 3:12 here. You're 3 hours ahead. Oh no, you're 3 hours behind me.
Yeah, it's noon over here.
Don't mind me. I get my time zones mixed up. But yeah, you were saying about the Golden Compass and all that.
Oh yeah, no, it's a good fun movie. I do highly recommend it. Sadly, it leaves on to be continued ... and they never did make another movie.
Yeah, I don't think it made as much as they were hoping it would make.
Yeah,
It didn't. The area, although, like you said, the atheist narrative isn't that strong, but enough people knew about it that they didn't want to go view it.
yeah, and that was kind of sad, man. That was some of that. It's that vitriol reactionary type stuff. Like, oh, Harry Potter has magic. Let's go protest this. Oh, this has a Christian narrative in it. Let's go protest this. It's like, dude, that's not tolerance. That's intolerance by its definition. You are intolerant.
Yeah, well, I can see not going to watch it, but going to protest it, it's just pathetic. You're not going to change anybody's opinion.
Well, like the Wiccans, they have a good rule of thumb. I like this rule of thumb: do what thou wilt, so long as you hurt no one.
Yeah.
And there are some hardliners, just like with any religion, you get your hardcore fundamentalists, and these guys will go, and that includes yourself. So none of that. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Well, it just sounds like what was it? Variation on what Christ said: "Do unto others as you would have done unto you."
It's the golden rule. It's existed since time immemorial.
Yeah.
Before the written word, there was the golden rule.
Yeah.
And prostitution.
Yeah. No.
Prostitutes!
No, the oldest job known to man is gardener, then farmer.
Shepherd.
No, I say that because Adam had to tend the garden, look after the garden, so he was the gardener. And then he had to, till the ground for his food, so farmer.
Now we're getting creationism versus archaeology.
No, archaeology backs up a lot of the Bible.
It does in certain ways, and in other ways there is contradictory evidence. But that comes down to semantics. But the oldest archaeological evidence is animal husbandry and shepherding.
Yeah.
And then the first signs of agriculture are.
No, I'm not saying he was, a big agricultural because, how much food does it take to feed two people?
Right.
Or, once you get a kid or two, 3 or 4 people, it doesn't take a lot of food to feed 3 or 4 people. So it's not like you're going to have a huge farm.
Right. Well, we get in the first archaeological evidence of farming is around the first settlements. And this stuff is really funny because I could sum it up with a quick song. We built this city on lots of beer. Yes, beer is the beer crops, barley, wheat, and not for making bread. Barley, wheat, hops, other things like that are the first crops that we actually settled down to do something about. We were still hunter-gathering for our food, but we said, dude, we need to slow down a minute and make some booze.
Yeah, booze has been around quite some time. Fermenting, whatever.
And beer predates wine.
Huh. I did not know that.
Right? So who lost that bet to find out that wasn't poison? Hey, Ugg, me dare you drink that puddle over there in old grass field. Oh no, Zug, me no do that. That make me sick. You do it. You lost bet. Hey, this stuff's pretty good. I feel awesome. You're the greatest guy ever, Zug.
Well, it'd have to be a pretty old puddle, so takes a little while to ferment, right?
Well, until then, I mean, we don't have any real evidence, but until then, like, I guess our drug of choice was rotten fruit and mushrooms that weren't so good to eat.
Who knows? Hard to say.
Humans are funky creatures, man.
Yeah, I was watching that show, Living with the Machinyenga. It was on TV, Discovery Channel, or something like that, a while back. And they were primarily hunter gatherers still, because they were like one of the last untouched tribes in South America. But one thing
Right.
they did do was all go together and make beer. That was what they did, go harvest crops for.
That's wild.
Except they
didn't
had
know about
everybody,
that.
they had all these people, all the women would go around and take all this stuff and chew on it and all spit it into the same container. It was gross.
Mmm.
I'm trying to think when I know Noah made alcohol. I'm trying to think of the first alcohol before the flood. I can't remember whether it's recorded before the flood. Then again, you don't have a lot between Noah and Adam for history.
See, now I have this. Now I have Dave Chappelle as Samuel L. Jackson as Mazda Inca Noble saying, "It'll get you drunk."
What movie is that from? Because I don't.
From the Chappelle Show when he's doing Samuel Jackson instead of Samuel Adams.
Oh, okay.
So
That
yeah,
was
it's good
such
beer.
a good show.
Do you always have to yell it like? Yeah, do you like this? This is how I talk. Didn't you see me? I was in deep blue sea. A mother shark ate me.
Oh. Oh man, it's like 3:19. I think I should. I'm having a great time here, but I got a few things to do this afternoon.
Well, that's fine. I do appreciate you inviting me to come on and hang out.
So, for the few people that are not here, when you're watching this later, please smash the like button. What else? Subscribe if you get to subscribe. Also, go over to Tank Ferret's channel, which I couldn't find your channel easy. So I'm not sure how to do that easy.
Oh, it should just be Tank Ferret. It might not be coming up in a search engine because I don't have any videos up yet. So I won't be triggering any algorithms as a content producer. So you'll have to switch your channel to filter. Switch your filter to channel.
Well, I did that and I couldn't even find you that easy too. So
okay, that's good to know. I'll have to look into that then. Thank you.
Type something in the chat. And then I can click go to your channel and then I'll say subscribe and then I can find it easy and I'll put a link to it in the description.
Done and done.
I was meaning the regular chat. Not sure whether I can do it from here. Like, can you type in the chat where we read from normally? Oh, there, something.
Snarky little SOB, aren't I?
Yeah. Go to channel. You want to do that too, John? And I'm not sure whether I'm subscribed to you or not.
Yeah, I just wrote you something in the chat.
Okay. And I'll get subscribed to both of you.
You know what I love about the Drawn and Quartered show?
What?
Not only did they accept the challenge of bringing a fan to the main stage, but when the fan won, they accepted it graciously, which just goes to prove their point of the customer is always right.
Yeah.
That
I know.
was beautiful.
When the actual live Drawn and Quartered ended, Kanan White was talking mess, and I was like, "I'm sorry, Kanan. I'm sorry that I brought fans over to Mike's channel. I'm sorry that I brought people that are sending super chats to Mike. I'm sorry that I appreciate the customers." That was hilarious.
Okay.
No, I love it. It's a group that plays win-win, and we talk about positive things. We're not always focused on the horrible things that are going on in our lives, how miserable things are. Dude, welcome to planet Earth. Life is miserable. Get over it. Move on. Get on to finding some solutions to that.
Yeah.
Or as my dad likes to say, it's time to grow up.
See, my dad would always say, "Stop sniveling and just kill yourself already."
Right? My stepdad was he was like, I had my parents got a divorce when I was very little. So I grew up with I had two families, which was kind of cool for me. Dude, double the Christmas, double the birth, double your fun.
Okay,
But
I'm now subscribed to you, Tank.
woo!
Now you got 3 subscribers.
Dude, and I have no content.
And I am subscribed to you. I was already subscribed to you, John. So after I'm done this, so you're still at 62.
So I didn't get no new subscribers. Oh, I got 2 more. Nice.
Yeah, I have to make sure that I'm subscribed to your channel. I don't know if I am. I'm trying to get all those ducks in a row. This is my professional account, not my personal account.
I'll subscribe on both.
I think I'm already subscribed on my personal account. I think I have like everybody on there. But
Yeah,
when it came down to like adding content, I was like, okay, I got to get this organized.
I should subscribe on my other channel too to you guys. Pied Piper of Hamilton.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Give you an extra one. So
But yeah, it was
Hey, it helps
great.
the metrics.
It was great hanging out with you, Rick.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
It was
And
great
get
talking
more
to
of
you,
your
Tank.
likes, so- Yeah,
Rick, John, awesome. Let's do this again.
yeah. I will be on tonight, like I said, around 10 o'clock, 10:30, depending on when I get home and get all set up to do my live drawing of Will Smith from MIB, Men in Black.
All right. Well, I will. I'll try to make it. I'll try to make it. That you 7 o'clock your time. You say
No, 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock
So-
your time. So 7 o'clock my time. Okay.
Yeah, approximately. Like I said, I'm not sure exactly what time I get home and set up. I'm trying to get everything set up and ready before I go live.
I dig that.
True professional. True professional.
Although last night I wasn't quite set up, but oh well.
All right, I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you guys later. Tug, are you
Okay.
gonna put your name in the chat so I can go try to subscribe to your channel?
Who, me?
No, Tank.
Oh yeah, totally. I will.
Well, he did put a word something down right at the bottom of the chat, so it should still be there.
Is it just Tank Ferret?
Yeah,
His YouTube channel?
yeah.
Yeah,
and
I already.
If you click the 3 dots, you probably know. Click the 3 dots and click go to his channel. Anyway, subscribe to their channel. The links are in the description, right at the bottom. Hit the notification bell to know when I'm putting up content, going live, all that wonderful stuff. Comment in the comment section. Share. Check out all my other wonderful content. I've got like over 160 videos, people. And I think have a great and wonderful day. day. Oh, check out that's part of my links. Check out my links too in the description. Okay, bye. Have a great, wonderful day. God bless everybody.